Janu, thank you for the follow. We'll be starting soon.
Look, man, don't you worry about what I'm going to be doing, okay? It's going to support all of us. That's all you need to know.
Have you guys seen these, by the way? Best Halloween decorations.
We're live, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
You put it in chat? What are we looking at here?
Yeah.
Did we went live? Or we're going?
We
We're
did.
getting...
We're live in 3, 2.
Wait a minute.
Those are pretty sweet.
Didn't we already go live?
Yeah, no, we've been live.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome, everybody. Garrett usually does the welcome, so.
Hey, welcome everyone. Another session of the Chaos Chamber. I'm not on the recap screen yet, am I?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh, okay. That's what I was waiting for. Usually there's usually there's some back and forth, some witty comments, some commentary, and then I say hello and move the recap screen. So I was waiting for the witty comments.
That's what I was waiting for.
Not from
demonic
this group.
Halloween cat decorations.
I did get a little distracted with that.
The decorations are cats. They are not decorations for cats.
Isn't
Pussy
that
usually
necessarily
distracts
true,
me.
though?
I mean, you could tape one to a cat and call it a day, but nobody would really be very happy about it.
PETA would not approve. You're right.
Yeah.
All right. Recap it is.
All right, let's go to the recap. Does anyone remember what happened?
Hold on. I wrote down in my notes. Frank killed the first bandit. Revivify Weevil.
Yeah, we had to bring back the Weevil.
That about summarizes the session. That's all you need to know. No. So last time we picked up. Let's go about this a little more seriously here. I seem to recall some of the details. So last session we picked up. You guys have just found the dragon horde behind the waterfall in the back. When at that moment Frank notifies you he heard a sound, something he recognizes, a smell outside of the cavern. Something is approaching in the vicinity. At that point, you guys had to basically leave everything you had there and make the decision on what to do. And you guys decided to haul ass back out of the cave and get out of there. At that point, there was no waiting, no strategy. You guys just bolted as fast as each of you were capable of. So got some separation amongst the group. No issues. You'd already cleared out the area, so no enemies along the way. You blew through the nauseating, noxious, gaseous smell without issue. Got through that. Got out of the cave. Jumped into the water. Amrook was the first one to pop out. Climbing up very quickly to find that the Weevil, Frank, were being attacked by what appeared to be two mages hiding off in the bushes, as well as two people locally, one woman, a veteran, and a bandit captain, who had already had a few hits in on the Weevil as is. He was unable to defend himself or block it, since he was currently strung up by the tree with his neck in a noose, not knowing that the branch was cut, and so he wouldn't have actually died, but scared to death for his life. And so as he was being attacked, Amrook got in there, started chucking his hand axes. Stormbreaker starting to do some damage, however, not enough to stop the death of the Weevil. The bandit captain, while staring directly at Amrook, putting the dagger through his chest, taking down the Weevil, what he thought was once and for all, killing him before focusing on Amrook and the rest of the party, who had caught up not long afterwards. They were a few rounds behind before a full-on battle waged from the different tiers of the actual cliffside, which was interesting. Before taking out the two mages and the bandit captain, and then finally knocking the veteran unconscious. The woman went down, tying her up and taking her captive, at which point you took the opportunity to revive the Weevil, choking up blood. He came back, was able to successfully revive him, still a little bit shaken up, but otherwise okay. And so you took the opportunity to interrogate your captive a little bit, learned a little bit more. She was not a full-on member of this group. This was her first adventure with them, trying to earn her way in. You found a patch on one of the dead bodies that helped the interrogation a little bit. What appeared to be a patch from, you assumed to be the S Society, as it did have a large S on it, though a large amount of it was burned away, so couldn't quite tell the full extent of it. But she didn't know much, knows that this group was hired by two men that you met outside of Mirabar, who paid to kill the Weevil and Siddle. And so, following your tracks to the keep, attack the Weevil and the group there, and then following you once again on the way out and down to your current location. Managed to track you guys down, attempting to kill the Weevil unsuccessfully, or successfully and then unsuccessfully, depending on how you look at it. And she has offered to, for her freedom and to escape and to run very, very far away to tell the tale to the keep if you come with her, and she will be gone from your lives. And at that point, you guys decided to do a long rest, and that is where we will pick up. If there's anything you wanted to do before or during the long rest that we didn't get in, feel free. But otherwise, we'll pick up afterwards.
We have our newly acquired magical items, right? We have them all.
That you do. You've attuned to just about all of them. There were a few that you were unable to.
I got that cloak of bellowing. It doesn't need attunement, does it?
It does not. I don't believe anything you had it requires attunement. From my recollection, if it did, it would mention it in your journal, but I don't believe it does. You should now have them all in your journal. I believe I queued them all up correctly last night. Reed, if you check your journal, you've got some beans that you found in there and investigated while you were sleeping. Since you were not here, Althea, did she? Yeah, she answered by she retrieved the dust, the little vial of dust, which she talked to you guys about during the campfire chat. The dust of disappearance, a one-time use. And the only thing you guys did not attune to was a small pouch. You did not get to attune or investigate that. Sorry, I said attune, I meant investigate. And one of the potions, I believe.
We also, somebody mentioned last time about the Vonadod. Adrin checked.
Yeah,
You did.
I checked with the Vonadod. There was no shards or pieces within the radius, I believe.
That is correct. Nothing within a 10-mile radius of your current location.
Which is good because we don't need another rabbit hole to go down.
No.
We have enough.
Just want to see if there's anything else that you guys. So you did get a greater healing, regular healing potion. Yeah, and then you had 2 potions that you did not investigate. So you got 2 potions and an empty belt pouch that you have not yet investigated. Just for the record.
Does anybody mind if I grab that healing potion to make up for the one I gave? I forget her name. She told us her name, right?
You did get her name. It was not written right here. So let's check the other one. That was Volman.
Okay.
You may not actually have gotten her name now that I think about that.
We do now. Joke's on you.
You do now. Okay, after in casual conversation during your long rest.
So I'm gonna grab the greater healing potion if that's okay.
I'm gonna take it out of the group pack. Did you say we had 2 regular potions of healing, G? Because I have 3 in here. Maybe we had 1 left over in the group pack, but I just want to.
You had 1 left over. You did. Let me check the session notes. Nope, you did get 3 potions of healing.
Okay,
that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't want to be.
There were 2 unknown potions, two types of unknown potions, 2 of one, and 2 of the other. So 2 types of 2 potions. You got 4 bottles that are unknown, 2 and 2.
Yep. Okay, yeah. One's green and bubbling, bubbles stop at the top, and the other ones are brown, silver, and gray layers that won't mix.
That's it.
Yep. Okay, I removed the greater healing potion from the group pouch, so if it's in yours, Amra.
Thank you.
You know, I have to say, I found these small beads, and apparently they can trap people in some type of force field, but also cause some damage. This is pretty cool.
You sounded like Duffman from The Simpsons. Duffman.
Duffman. Maybe that's who I am now.
Are you supposed to put the beans in any sort of orifice?
Oh.
Beans or beads? Wait a sec.
Yes, which one?
Bean. As in.
Because the beads of Anal he has.
Right.
But the beans you have, I thought.
Yeah, I have the beans. I was asking about the beads. I did misspeak.
These are relatively small. I mean, I don't know where they would go.
In your pee hole.
Wow.
Sounds
Branding
like a good
beans,
idea.
got it.
Wow, that's
That's some force damage.
Now,
So, hey, Grizz, you still have those diamonds?
Let me check my pack. I think I do. One second here. It does seem that I have 3 diamonds in my pack.
And we estimated them to be about 100 gold worth
Yes, I believe so.
Each.
each.
Yes.
Would you mind me holding on to them? I can use those for revivify.
I think that's a good idea. I will take them out of my. They're coming out of my pack now.
All right, going into mine.
They are removed.
So a couple of sessions ago, too, we had come across some spells in a book.
Yes. Yeah, those were also part of the hoard that you found at in the library specifically.
Perfect. I was planning on spending a little bit of time during my rest as well, copying some of those into my spell book, if nobody has any objections.
yeah, I'd like to do the same. That's cool. Did we get a list of what spells they were by chance or no?
Prestidigitation, Misty Step, True Strike, Lightning Bolt is what I've
Oh,
got
okay.
written.
All right, yeah, I've now do. All right, we're good.
Those are the ones.
Other than that, that's all I really want to do.
All right. Okay. Yes. So you wouldn't be able to write all of them into your spell book. Did you know which ones you wanted to put in?
How many can we of the 4 that are there? 2?
Carl, you might know this offhand. Do you remember? I know we've talked about this numerous times now.
We have had a couple conversations in Echo Chamber, and I forget how many hours it would actually take you. So if
There
you
we go.
did it on your rest, it would take you probably several nights.
2 hours per spell level
I was
and
at
50 gold.
So I have Divination Savant. It says the golden time you spend to copy is halved.
All right, 1 hour and 25 then.
and that's the same thing for Rusty and his evocation spells, I believe.
Correct.
Okay. So we could get 3 of the 4 because our we have what 4
Well-
hours minutes, right?
So you have 4-hour increments in which you're actually awake because you guys are sleeping the majority of the time, and you're doing so. You only have during your watch period to actually do these things. Otherwise, you're sleeping. And then effectively, we've determined 3. You guys are doing 9-hour rests. And what was I about to say? And it's 2 hours per spell level.
Yeah.
So if it's a 3rd level spell, it takes you 6 hours.
Right.
Correct.
But you
Oh,
could do it. You could do like part of it now and then part of it next rest.
Yeah, you can start doing it at different points. And yours is halved, so I do not have each of those ready, and I just want to check one quick thing.
They are all wizard compatible.
Do we know what level they
Yes.
Does it say
So
on the
True
spell
Strike
scroll?
and Prestidigitation are cantrips.
Yeah.
Lightning Bolt is a 3rd level.
And
What is the third
cantrips
one?
act as first level, if I recall.
Correct. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 50 gold, or 1 hour and yeah, that one. Where'd my fucking
You can write. I didn't realize that you can actually write cantrips as part of your spell, but I didn't realize that.
I'm gonna start with Misty Step since that one was level 3 too, right?
That one was
Misty's second level, yeah.
So that would take me 4 hours, half that, so 2 hours. Okay. I'll actually do Misty Step and Prestidigitation, and then I'll do Lightning Bolt.
True Strike and Prestidigitation.
That's it.
Cool. So I'm gonna do Misty Step.
Goes out.
True Strike. Cool. All right.
Well, Misty Step is a conjuration spell, not a divination.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll just do Misty Step then. Start Misty Step. No, I can do Misty Step because it'll take 4 hours total. So
Yes.
I'll just do that one.
Okay. So just go ahead and take 25 gold out of your.
Yeah, I think it's 50.
It is 50. Yeah.
Oh, it's not half for you. That's right.
That's fine.
Okay. Good. I'm going to go ahead and move you guys off of the start screen onto the map so that you have it, since there will be travel today.
Oh, I like that you marked the Dragon's Lair on there. Nice.
Yeah, I'll start adding some more as well in the future, like I did with the Raw Dump, Moogs Windmill, Hill Giant Den. I'll keep adding them in. I go back and do a few others.
So I believe the goal was to get to Xanthels Keep, correct?
Yeah, right.
Yep, we can go give our side of the story and give this asshole over to the Xanthels bar so he can face some proper justice.
I like it.
Isn't that right, Warville?
I'm just going to throw it out there, but should some of us stay outside the keep just in case?
I am for that.
Yeah, that's probably not a
Althea will volunteer to stay out.
I think I should go in the keep because I need to make sure things are cleared up.
You're also the one that they've got the biggest justice boner for, so.
I'm just going to give Griswold a wink.
So, just for thought, though, the last time we were there and talked to whatever the guy's name was, he actually asked us for the amount of people that we had. So I think he's going to expect all of us to be there.
We didn't talk to him, did we?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because Adrian and a few others were not there, and he called us out on the number of people we had. So he might call us out again, might set some bad blood.
That's a fair point.
Say they died in the Dragon's Lair.
I believe a lie got us into this mess in the first place.
Sildar has cleared.
Listen, if you go in and they want you anyway, there's no getting out of it. Why should we all be jailed?
No, Sildar has cleared things up from the Lord's Alliance. I need to go in and make sure that everything is okay. Warwick does have a point, though. I will certainly take whatever. I will certainly take blame or the heat from whatever they say, but it might be best if we all come in. That is a good point.
I mean, at the same time, we escaped once. We could do it again.
Let's do it.
I will be going in. Whoever decides to follow, that is fine.
All right. Sounds like we're all going in.
All right. So from where you're at right now, it's a fairly straight shot cut into the woods. Now, if you remember, you guys came in from down this direction. See, this would be untraveled territory for you, but I assume that's the direction you want to go. You tell me.
No, I think we left our horses. I'd like to go back and get. We had 2 horses at the edge, so we have to backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
Water deep, right? No. Just fucking.
So you're heading to the edge of the forest to about here, then?
Yeah, I think we left him at the edge, right? And then because it would have taken us too much.
I think we only have 2 horses left.
Yeah, I was gonna say okay, cool.
Yeah.
Mine and Adrin's, I believe.
Yeah.
And I have Frank right now as well.
Yeah, Frank is still alive after one of the battle, the rarity.
DM throwing shade.
I'm just statistically, I'm just saying.
Don't be throwing shade at our front line, okay? Frank is our front line.
You wait till Frank sprouts wings. That's gonna be pretty friggin' beefy. I'm so excited for that.
What level does that happen?
Level 9.
Okay.
I've got some shit planned out.
So if we backtrack the 5 miles and then like, should we go over to the road and then up? I think that might save some time than
Yeah.
trekking the rough terrain.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So you're gonna basically head here, grab your horses, head straight over to the road, based on the parallel path. So 12 miles would be there. So you're 17 miles from there. You're looking at another 14, so 30 miles in total.
Yeah, and only so we're at walking speed since.
You are, so 24 miles would be an average day. You can certainly push it and potentially risk some exhaustion, or just spend a day traveling and then spend the night, assuming nothing else comes up.
Right.
Is that the direction you guys want to head? Well,
Yep. I'm good with that. If everybody else is.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
ruh-roh. Nice without it.
I'm gonna say
Or not within reach.
Let's not push it and just travel at a steady pace.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm for that.
Exhaustion is not fun.
No.
I mean, there's reasons for it, but I don't think we need to get there any faster. So.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, you guys find your horses relatively easily. No problem. You unencountered. You follow your path on the way out. Adrian remembering very easily where the way you came in. No issues following it back whatsoever. Tracking down your horses, you're then able to cut across. I assume you want to go a little bit north. You kind of came from the south on where the carcass was. I assume there's no reason you want to head down those 3 or 4 miles. Just skip it.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Beeline it over. Again, familiar terrain. You kind of know this area. You're cutting through these light rolling hills. You've got some pretty good visibility, as you can see. Just high grass through most of it. You would cross it without issue. And once again, tracking down the road. In which case, you can then turn around and begin to head north.
Deja vu all over again.
Guys,
Yeah.
I've
I feel
thought
like
about
we're
it.
just here.
I've thought about it. Maybe we should head back to Long Saddle. I know we're almost there, but let's just.
Long Saddle was pretty fucking cool. Like that down bridge and shit.
There was the whole gambling ring. I mean, Siddle, you won, right? Well, we might as
Yeah,
well
I
go
mean,
back.
You just go have a house party.
Yeah, Warwick can invite us into his home.
Only if you bring me a gift. Each one of you, not as a group. Housewarming party.
We
Right?
will bring you a shrubbery.
Have a
Yes,
nice
absolutely.
Never mind. I'm not gonna do it.
Can the shrubbery count for multiples of us if it's huge?
It has to be multiple huge shrubberies,
Okay.
and you cannot cut the pubes off of. Never mind. We're not even gonna. Sorry, Grace.
All right.
Anyway.
Sorry, Garrett. Let's head north. See, this is the
You
whole
must plant one of
Kevin
them
Smith
slightly
thing.
elevated. Yeah. All right. So your day goes by without incident. You may manage to travel the road that you know very well now, from both the road itself and the woods to the side of it. Having traveled up and down once and then before, the air seems to be, the sky seems to be clear. Even though you're keeping a pretty close eye on it as you're making your way, having been attacked once from that direction already. Otherwise, it is a quiet day of travel on your own on the long road. As you know from before, very limited traffic on this particular road between Xanthels and Long Saddle this time of year. And so you encounter nobody, finding a nice little spot right off of the long road that you want to camp for the night. And just to continue to expedite things, anything you guys want to do before the long rest?
I'm just gonna copy prestidigitation and true strike.
Do we need to identify any potions or anything?
Oh
You
yeah,
got two types of potions, and you got the brown pouch that's unidentified.
I'll go ahead and do the brown pouch, unless somebody else wanted to.
Well, we identified potions by basically like sticking our finger in there, like and trying to like how the hell do we do that? Because I mean, I'll do the potion, but like this has.
So previously we determined that the while you could technically just taste it and there's nothing, that we would use it like identify way back when. That if you have not seen this before, if you've seen it before, it'd be an instant identification. If you have not, it would be the 1 hour, a short or long rest, like identifying anything else.
I mean, I will do the. Oh shoot! Let me open up that. I will do the one that doesn't mix the two potions that don't that are gray, silver, and blue or whatever and don't mix. That green bubbling one, I'm a little worried about.
All right.
Oh,
Carl, in your journal should be the brown pouch.
Okay. I'm gonna
I
show it
will check
to the
out
chat.
the. I'll check out the other one.
Oh, it might.
You're checking the bubbling one.
Yep.
Journal or
All
pack?
right.
I'm sorry.
Oh, journal. Sorry. In your journal.
All right, I am removing that empty pouch with the plant and engraving on there since Carl Amrick has that now. That's not in the group pack anymore.
All right. So the first one, this one that separates into brown, gray, and silver. You were taking that one, Grizz, right?
Yep, I'm taking it.
Oh, you're not going to take it easily, are you? There we go. And Adrian, you said you were taking the second one.
Yeah, the green and bubbly.
And while you're doing that, I'm not seeing it on my end.
Really? All right, 1 second.
Unless it's that haversack.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. That's the
Okay,
brown pouch.
I don't think that's just in mine. I think that's just for everybody.
You identified it, so you're the only one that knows what it is at the moment.
I
Yeah.
don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it
All right.
should be just being you. Oh, you know why? I have not. One, I assign it to you. Two, I drag it and drop it under my preset folders. I've just
Got
assigned
it.
it to you. I have not yet drag and drop.
Got it. Got it.
That's why it appears that way.
Cool.
All right, that's pretty cool.
And Adrian?
It seems like this potion is a potion of climbing, and it basically gives you same climbing speed as your movement speed for an hour, and you also appear to be stronger when you climb. Maybe advantage on strength checks to make sure you don't fall on someone. Probably could have used this earlier. There's a reason I picked this one.
Adrian, you should see yours in the chat as well.
All right, I'm going to keep this in the group pack, but I'm going to relabel it.
It should be under my journal.
Oh, no, sorry, in the chat. I didn't,
Oh.
This one I just threw in the chat for you since it was potions.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I didn't. Okay.
My bad. Still trying to find the best way to get it to everybody. You know, we're only 2 years into this whole thing. Still feeling things out.
So these two help in resistance against poison. Who would like that? There's two of them.
So, all right, poison resist. Okay.
Yeah.
Who seem to
I
have
mean,
lost their lunch quite a bit in the gas.
I mean, I can hold on to them, but
You did,
but they might be better for somebody. These might be better divvied up to somebody else. Not that I have resistant to poison, but I have other.
I can
I
always
have other
keep them in the
ways.
group pack for now if we want to think about it. But
I don't think I would need it because I can disarm traps. But who's clumsy?
wow, I wonder who that was directed towards. Well then,
I was thinking maybe it might be good for Cyril to keep on him.
Probably wouldn't be a terrible idea.
Are you gonna
Split
take
him up
both of
between the
them?
two of them. One to each of you.
Okay.
The bag is very similar to the one you have, Griswold.
We just got another Did we really?
It's
We
called
just gotta-
Heward's
He-
Handy Haversack.
Yeah, it's smaller though.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
it has a couple pockets on the side.
That's still pretty cool. Though.
Just make sure we don't put them inside of each other.
Yeah, don't do that.
Do it. Do it.
Oh, you guys lucked out.
I mean, we could keep that as a defensive strategy if we ever need to get rid of somebody.
Wow. Shit.
I've heard of stories of these great adventurers defeating a Tarask with one of these things. I don't believe it though.
Does anyone have the deck of many things, and we can maybe figure this out?
Well, I have a feeling we would lose our bag of holding, though, if we were to do that.
Yeah, no, that would suck.
Both of them.
Yeah.
What path did you say you dropped these into, by the way?
What's that?
You said you put these in the chat?
I put
personal,
it.
yeah.
I put the potions to each of them. I can put it in general. Sorry.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, one was climbing, 2 were poison resistance.
Climbing
Got it.
and poison resistance. So you guys lucked out due to DM error. Gave you the wrong item. You were not supposed to have that.
The extra
Well,
haversack.
You were not supposed to have the haversack. That was a mistake on my part. I grabbed the wrong Heward's Handy pack. This is the one you were supposed to have had. So you're gonna luck out and
Spice
maintain this one.
That is awesome. That is
That one
just
was-
as cool.
That one's pretty cool too. So either
That's
way,
pretty cool.
whatever you want to do there, DM.
Can we have both of them?
I'll tell you what. You can have the spice pouch that was originally intended, and the haversack will be. Yeah, I'll tell you what. You found both of them, and then you guys found a dragon horde. Screw it. You get both. I made the mistake. You get both. Congratulations. You convinced me.
Any chance I could handle the spice pouch?
No, you give that fucking spice patch to Griswold because I know what's gonna happen.
I think
No,
Adrin fixes most of our meals. He should probably hang on to the spice pouch.
I can find some uses for that.
Unless one of you guys want to
I
start
can-
making dinner for us.
No,
I concede.
I'm okay with no.
All right,
That
Grizz,
night you guys have the best rabbit you've ever had. There's like
Keep her going. Be right back.
there's pepper in it and just enough amount of salt. A little kick of cayenne pepper.
I mean, we could make some fucking bank off the saffron, right?
Yeah, right?
I mean, that's as expensive as it is. What's the...
I mean, he who controls the spice, right?
that's a good point. I feel like we should get a boat.
We don't even have to go back to Longsaddle. We can just sell saffron for the rest of our lives.
And that's the end of the campaign. Congratulations, you guys solved it.
We
You'll
have
go
one
on to have a
movie.
very wealthy life. Each of you doing quite well in Long Saddle, selling spices, moving them across the continent. The continent is henceforth destroyed by numerous elements while taking down your business as well as everything else.
Hold on. We can sell magic weapons as well.
That's true.
And we get 15% of the products out of
Are
Wave
you
Echo Cave.
suggesting that we convince the giants not to destroy everything,
I was gonna
but to go into business with us? Is that where we're going with this?
No, we just buy.
All I'm saying is we control the spice trade,
Yeah, I mean,
we can be weapons dealers.
I mean, we could buy out the freaking giants.
That's like retirement. Let's take care of the giants, and then we'll retire to be arms dealers and the spice market. All right.
I mean, we could just tell them, hey, you know what? There's this place called the Anaruk Desert. Go conquer that. Go conquer that. Here's some money. Here's some gold. Go conquer over there.
I kind of like that.
Grizz, I'm gonna hang on to this haversack so you don't get mixed up, if that's okay.
That's fine. That's
I
probably
just
the
don't
best.
want the two combined.
Yes, that's probably the best.
Cilantro. We can do. Oh, that's awesome.
It's the launch.
Thought you would enjoy that one.
I'm thoroughly going to enjoy this. You gain. Okay, so you got to spend a charge.
So
Okay.
so could you make my mead pumpkin spice?
Tis
You know
the
what? I
Coming
don't.
up my ass.
I
But it's
mean,
not yet fall in Farron. You gotta wait till fall for that.
all you really need
Boots
is
of Ugg.
allspice. So yeah,
That's what I'm thinking.
that's
Pumpkin
all you
spice
need.
mead. Let's
Yeah.
let's get this shit going. Let's talk to Toblin. Let's start the market.
Listen, Amrook, I want you to rename your boots the Boots of Ugg if you're gonna start
Yeah, I was
going
gonna say the
pumpkin
boots of.
spice.
No, we need a good mascot for our meadery here. Perhaps a siren.
You guys are out to steal.
With two
Steal.
You know, a little goblin would have been perfect for that.
Rip Droop.
Oh, poor Droop.
Drew Patton had an honorable mention in a while. He was overdue.
Yeah.
He passed in more ways than one.
All right, so with that said, you guys investigate that. Anything else you want to do over the course of the night? It's quiet, so I'm not going to waste any time going through watching at the moment.
If yeah, I mean, I just want to roll for. I'm just going to assume that Adrian and I or Amric and I are on the same shift, and I'm just going to roll an intelligence check to see if I can pick up any other words in Dwarvish. If I can.
I don't know if we would have time for that since we're identifying.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. Nope, because that's an hour. You're right. Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
I mean, it's up to you, DM. If you want to
I was
give
going
us
to
a
say the
word or
same
so.
thing.
I did roll a 19 though, so just throwing that one out there, which never happens. But you
That's
know,
the only reason
whatever.
I said something, Evan. Don't worry.
Cool. Fine. No, that's right. We're identifying. So we're identifying. I'm talking to Amrook at the same time. That should be fine.
You've gotten very proficient at your previous words. You almost you've been working on dialect for the words that you know now. You sound more like a local.
Deal. All right.
No, he doesn't.
Deal.
Shh, he doesn't know.
He thinks he's
A local
got
idiot.
It perfect.
Well, I'm gonna look at Amrook and say bitch in Dwarvish.
I don't think I taught you that.
You definitely did. You 100% did. I've written them down.
I didn't think I wanted you to know that it was Griswold. That's the way you say bitch in Dorvish.
You know what? All right. You know what? So, what are we doing next?
We're going to Xanthels Keep.
You guys head north to Xantharls?
Let's do it.
Yep.
Having traveled this before, you know that it's about a 2.5 hour walk from where you're at, maybe 7-8 miles. So you're not that far out. So you can get an early morning start and make it there pre-noon. You can almost be there by 9-10 o'clock in the morning, leaving most of the day. And you guys still have the Weevil and Volman in tow, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
As you approach, are they tied up, or what condition are they in here?
They are tied up, but they're on the horses, and we're walking.
That
They're
20
both on the horses.
Two. That
What's
nice
that?
rolls.
two,
Those
baby.
are really good rolls for poor.
Those
Yeah.
Solid rolls, bro.
Wait, did you just roll 2 nat 20s?
No.
A nat 20 and a 2.
Oh,
My
hey,
boy.
remember, if I crit
Are you good at
and
divine?
divine smite, I'm just letting you know the pop that I have. If I hit divine smite and then do like a branding smite, the damage I do on one hit is fucking insane. I'm letting you know this.
I'm only going to do it to you if we get into Xanthels Keep and
No,
you do that ruler guy.
no, I can't do that.
All right, never mind. All right, let's go. I'm ready to go to Xanthels Keep.
All right. Anything you guys want to do before you get? You're on your walk there. You're doing the hike. All's pretty quiet. Anything that's in your intention before you get there? Anything prepped? Now, if you remember, on the long road, you're coming along. From there is a branch off. It's like a T. The keep is off on your left, a few hundred yards. So you do head across that. There's the moat and the outer wall of the town. Then you head into town, and then the actual keep itself is in the back. Just for recollection, so once you get to the intersection, it's only a few hundred yards. They can basically see you as you're approaching the keep if you get close.
I'm gonna make sure I have my Lord's Alliance ring like out and flashing, and I will certainly sheath whatever my mace. I certainly at this point do not want to seem threatening.
Okay.
Yes, I will put my weapons in my new haversack as well and offer it to anybody else.
I have my Saturn and I'm going to strum it with a joyful song.
I'm also going to say, Reed, make sure we have an escape plan.
I'll have an escape plan.
I knew it.
Althea wants to know if she's going to still stay outside according to the original plan, or is everyone going in?
I think we all should go in. It's
Probably.
probably for the best.
All right. Are Volman and the Weevil gagged at this point?
Yes. I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, should we have them gagged? Do we think they're going to use any magic? Is that the concern?
I just don't want them yelling out and causing a ruckus. We're already trying to clear up some things, but I don't know, just my opinion, but
Okay.
Okay. So as you approach the keep, then these two are on the horses. The group approaches. Once again, this familiar territory. You're coming up on the T. The keep appears itself, though the wall of the keep on the left. As you're getting close, and it comes to the trees, you continue making your way there. The entirety of this wall reveals itself to you. The gate in the front of the keep is down at the moment. As you guys approach, you notice a few different things. One, you notice the wall has a few extra guards than it had a few days ago, keeping a close watch. You also see that there are a few guards at the gate itself, posted right outside of it this time, which there was not previously. So it seems they are stocked up a little bit in inventory from where they were previously. So as you make the turn and approach the gate, and you see these additional people, they notice. With your perceptions, you guys notice that you do not appear to be friendly to them. They are not so much as angry as you see a little bit of embarrassment on them. You just appear to be persona non gratas, having embarrassed them previously. And so you are getting scowls as you approach from each of these guys, and they are tense and they are rigid as you're coming up on the keep itself. Coming up to the door, no one says anything to you or approaches you, but they are glaring you down as you pass across the outside moat, across the drawbridge, and through the first gate.
Did we give them money? No, we did not.
You did not.
Yet.
I'm going to kind of stroll up to Amrook and just quietly say, maybe we should reimburse the town a little bit.
Agreed. I think we discussed giving them a portion of the Weevil's reward.
do I overhear Adrian saying this or no?
Adrian, are you being quiet enough that the group can hear you? If not, go ahead and make a.
No, I'm probably not being too quiet about it.
Adrian, I am going to give them my full share to make sure that I know that Sildar has helped us, but we've caused enough trouble, so I will give them my full share from the Weevil, and in hopes that would help.
Let's do that negotiating once we get to Hildar. Hildar?
I don't
Helder.
think it's really so much negotiating. I think it's more or less donating to the town.
Yeah.
Agreed, but
I
if we
would-
throw up coin here, you might cause more of a ruckus than you bargained.
No. I'm not saying give it to them right at this very moment, but something that we probably should maybe do in good faith.
Agreed.
Okay. So as you continue to make your way through, then they glare at you. You get by without incident. As you enter the town, you notice that each of the townsfolk, as they're walking past, you see some women with children, you see some couples making their way through. You immediately catch everybody's attention. They all look at you. Some maintain staring. Some of the men just continue to look in your direction with a curiosity and a little bit of disgust. The women are kind of grabbing their children, pulling them away, pulling them a little bit closer, and hurrying off. Basically, the path in front of you is kind of clearing. The streets are quickly dissipating on both sides. You've got these buildings on both sides of you as you walk to this dirt path straight back to the keep itself, the second interior wall. But everything's clearing out pretty quickly. No one really wants to be out as you guys are there. After the ruckus you caused last time, some people seem scared of you. Some people seem a little bit upset with you. Then you making your way back?
Yeah, I mean,
we're here.
keep rolling.
All right. Once again, you continue going, and again, the keep in the back is also staffed up a little bit higher than it was previously. More guards are out now, maintaining their distance, keeping an eye on you. You see a few posted out on side the drawbridge now. Initially, they're blocking your way as you guys approach, but again, they step off to the side. Haldor was expecting you. You, not at this exact moment. We shall send word for him. You will meet him in the courtyard, which you are quite familiar with, and he will meet you there. And the guard just kind of steps back and tries not to look at you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'll
Keep walking through.
Okay. You guys make your way through this familiar area. I'll go ahead and switch the map so that you have it. Once again, entering this courtyard as you pass by the walls, looking over you, the guard towers up above, glaring the entire way, but no one is holding their weapons to you offensively in any way. They just appear to be looking in your direction. Did I clean this up from last time? Mostly.
It's only a couple days.
That'll only be a little bloated.
Okay. Good. Any extras you guys see here? My apologies. Just for reference. Good. But it'll give you the point of the area. There we go. All right, over to the keep.
Perfect.
So at this particular point, there are. Let me know when you guys can see the entirety of it.
We're good.
Yep.
Okay. So as you enter the keep, there are obviously the guards that are directly there. There are a few guards inside of it, kind of keeping a close eye out. But you guys pass through without incident. Coming through here into the courtyard. At which point you recognize where Haldor had previously come out of this area over here. Seems to be, that's where he was sleeping at the time. So once again, you see a couple guards guarding that particular door. Before the man that you recognize as Haldor, previously this human, once again appears to be a fighter of some type. You recognize a man of many years of battle. Does not hold the usual esteem that you would expect from somebody in a political position like this. Kind of walks very casually like another soldier, but approaches you, keeping a pretty steely gaze on you as he does so, and comes up to the group. Well, just kind of pulls out his sword, puts it on the ground, and he's leaning on it, which is you're a bit surprised on, but as you look, this is not a full sword. This seems to be more traditional than anything else, not an actual weapon as you would expect from a fighter, so kind of shows his position. So he's leaning on it a little casually as he's talking to you. Well, last time you were through here, you certainly caused a bit of a ruckus. And once again, you see some grins from the surrounding soldiers to you. There are several now at the courtyard throughout, none of them close to you. They're just kind of posted on the outskirts, should you try anything again. You see some remnants of the damage that was here previously, some scorch marks, some burnt grass from last time. But otherwise, they seem to have cleaned up for the most part. So, your friends in high places have made some calls. You've been granted full immunity and an opportunity to explain yourself. Let's start with you, big one. As the provoker of the previous incident, you now have an open forum.
Shit, that's a bad idea.
We appreciate the opportunity to explain ourselves. Me in particular. I understand that it seemed like it was in bad efforts that you saw me strike someone down, but I can assure you, my colleagues and I were here not to harm anyone, but to find out some information. We were snuck up on by some bandits, and unfortunately, things got out of hand. We were threatened. Um, some scorch marks from the previous battle. You could see there were some mages or other bandits along that we could not see. So while that person appeared to be running, I had no inclination of whether they were running from us or trying to take cover to continue fire and cause harm. So I understand how the circumstances seem to be an issue, but I can assure you that it was no such thing. It was more for protection than anything.
Persuasion check?
All right. Uh,
Be a great time for that one important roll.
You mean the two?
I was gonna say the two.
It's going to be an 8. It's always an 8.
So it was an 8 with his 4
It was an 8.
modifier.
Oh my god.
Wow.
that was good, guys.
And puts his hand on his rough beard. All right. And the reason you have my stall mucker and my housekeeper up on those horses, bound and gagged.
Housekeeper.
Could I answer the question? Could I answer this one for you, please, if you don't mind?
Yes. I think
I would love to. Yes, please.
Little
By all means.
So, really quick, out of character, do we have a copy of his wanted poster?
Yep, you guys
Yeah,
still have that copy with you.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Griswold for that, presuming that he's got it.
and
So, well, my answer for why we have your stable hand here is sort of twofold. For starters, this gentleman here, while he may be a great stable hand, is also wanted by the Axe of Mirabar for a variety of crimes, one of which includes sending me to my death. As you can see, he failed, but I'm going to hand him over the poster and say, this is none other than Warvel the Weevil Forkbeard. We also understand that you could be construed as the Axe of Mirabar, and we would like to turn him over to you as well, if we can do that. We're happy to deliver
have
him to
his
Mirabar
authority.
ourselves if need be, but
And you can see surrounding me is the many members of the Axe mixed amongst my guard. Some of them here have traveled.
When he says that, Adrian kind of like steps a little bit in front of Amrook.
Thank
Kind
you,
of.
sir.
All right. As you can see, they are freshly here from having pursued a group that caused some havoc here a few days ago and turned north. They quickly made their way down from the north, and now they are stationed here. You wouldn't know anything about that particular group, would you?
oh, not a thing, not a thing.
I didn't think so. So yes, we could take him off your hands. This is quite embarrassing, but you are right. That is him, and he was under our nose for a matter of months.
Oh, I certainly wouldn't be too hard on yourself. He is a tricky one through and through, and is well known to be a tricky one. So,
Well, that is good, because I must speak with my soldiers here, because we have this very sign up at numerous parts within the castle, within the keep. So there should have been some identification. So thank you for taking care of him under our nose. Who knows if it was one of us that he would have killed. And the housekeeper. She'd only been with me for a day or two, if I recall. I don't recall seeing her much, but she seemed good at the time.
out of character, did we take piece of the S from the Chief
Yeah.
Bandit Chief? We did.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
somebody.
it's just a small patch. It's a basically an arm, kind of an arm patch sort of
Okay.
thing that would have been
couldn't
sewn
remember.
on there, and you have so the piece of it's very small. You need to have it though.
I couldn't remember if we took it. I- if I may, as we were venturing in a different direction from Xanthels Keep, we found that your so-called housekeeper and the bandits had followed us there, and we had to take care of some things, but we kept your housekeeper for questioning as we were more or less ambushed, or at least my tiger here was. Um, we also found this, and I'll show him the patch here on the Bandit King, from the Bandit King or whatever. Um, we weren't sure what that meant, but your housekeeper here gave us a decent explanation of the society, and yes, I think someone else may be able to speak about that a little bit better than I can.
Well, so my understanding is that this patch is for the group of individuals that actually hired our friend Warvel here to send me to my death. Still not entirely sure why. Apparently, we were after the same artifact or something to that effect, but uh, that's an ongoing investigation at this point. I would like to
see.
know, and so this is really quick out of character.
Yeah.
This is the one where we said, "Hey, come with us to Xanthels Keep, and then go as far fucking south as you possibly can, and we're not gonna fuck with you ever again. Don't
That
fuck
is
with
what
us.
you
We won't
said.
fuck with you."
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna basically make note there to hold here. Hey, this your housekeeper. We do have an accord. We wanted to bring her back with us here, and then she actually has a new business prospect, very very far down south, very far away from here. Where she won't get mixed up in this kind of business ever again.
So you tell me she tracked you down and attempted to kill you, and you are sending her free to explore other business prospects.
Well, the tracker was actually her boss who met an untimely end in the forest.
More murder? That seems right.
Uh, we were ambushed on this one, and I would like to point out that he was not trying to run and hide when he met his demise.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage since you guys had produced the Weevil documentation and the patch.
Nice.
That was persuasion with advantage.
Yep.
Okay.
Oof, not excellent.
13. Okay.
This is quite an interesting story you've told. If I were to believe this, that means I've been infiltrated twice, 3 times based on these mages you say were available. My men overlooked multiple threats. You still lied your way in here, barged out in chaos when questioned, murdered men in the field, and then have brought them back to me. Am I understanding that all correctly?
More or less, yes. I will absolutely admit to we lied our way in here the first time to come after the Weevil here. The others were an unexpected surprise.
If we were not a group of, say, higher status that have done greater things for the land, do you believe that Sildar and the Lord's Alliance would have tried to, I don't know, pass our names along in good grace? I don't believe that would be the case.
He's going to turn his head a little bit and glare at you. I would agree. The Lord's Alliance holds considerable influence here. They've done good things for us in the past. But I'm a man that likes to take things with my own eyes and see things, hear people's words and judge them myself. So while they hold considerable influence and they have got you in here in immunity, I wanted to better understand this particular group myself.
I'm gonna nudge Adrin and tell him to offer part of the reward.
Hey.
Good.
Grizz, the reward.
Yes, yes. As we had, you mentioned, left here in some bit of chaos. I understand that there is a reward for the Weevil here, and to show you that, not as a bribery, but as a token of faith, I want to give my. Huh?
Can't say the B word.
Oh,
Bomb?
as a token of faith, I would prefer to give my share over to you, which is upwards of about, there are 7 of us, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 without the hold on 2 seconds before I
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm just making sure before I which is a little over 700 gold pieces.
Chris, you can give him mine too.
Okay, it's more about 1400 gold pieces.
Well, the fact that you have returned here, shown multiple pieces of evidence, spoken on your behalves, and returned with the prisoners, while an embarrassment to me and my men. I respect that. The Lord's Alliance, after saving my life numerous times, I owe them this. And clearly they speak highly of you. And so, you are officially not guilty, and all crimes have been wiped from the slate. I hold you accountable for nothing that happened here. I request only a few things from you moving forward. 1, should you arrive back at this keep, or to me and my men, I expect complete honesty. No secrets, no hiding. I believe that we are owed that at this point, and I have shown that I am a reasonable man, as are my men here. Can we agree to that point?
Absolutely, I can make you that promise.
Excellent. And so, the second thing is, I assume you would still like paid for the bounty to take this man in?
We are giving you 1400 of that to keep to show as a token of faith.
And to get some
Yeah.
new helpers. I mean,
Yeah.
we did kind of capture 2 of them, so you're gonna have to find help anyway. That should
Understood.
cover some costs.
You make a solid point.
Above all, I want to see the Weevil here face the justice he is owed.
I believe that will be the case. As I'm sure many of you know, dwarven justice is true justice. All right, so with that, he's going to just reach back and pull one of his men. Tact. Contact the Marchion in Mirabar. Find out what we are to do with this Weevil and if we're clear to pay the bounty. All right. And you're going to see one of his soldiers run off. Meanwhile, he's going to wave 4 others on, so that these 4 are going to come up, kind of approach behind the group. 2 of them are going to reach up, kind of brush past you, pull the Weevil off the horse, pull him down, kind of guard him from both sides. They've got him by 2 arms. You see the panic in the Weevil's eyes. Men, I can join on Volman here in her business transaction down south. Wouldn't that be fair? Allow me to go down and join her business proposition. We can come to an agreement.
Deep into these things for that, I'm afraid.
And he's gonna spit in your direction. I said, "Oh, fine. I should have let them kill you."
As he's walking away, as they're dragging him away, I'm going to take my newly found staff, just pull it out and just kind of tap the ground and spend a charge, grow a little flower. I'm going to pick it. And I'm going to assume the Weevil has some kind of shirt pocket sort of thing or something.
Yeah, you give him many pockets throughout his shirt here.
I'm going to take the flower and kind of put it in his shirt. I'm just going to pat it and just, when you're in front of the judge, remember us.
At which point you just see, and he kind of tries to rip out of the hand, trying to pull these two soldiers with him, kind of bumps into you and Amrook as he does so, as he's trying to pull him, but they hold him back and they get him back under control, put a little distance between you, pull him back here, and he is just, what's that?
As he does that, I'm going to pull out the mummified goblin hand that I have and tickle his nose.
What the hell? You
And-
have not seen the last
and I'm
of me
gonna-
as he looks at each of you in turn.
And I want to remind him, and don't forget that we actually saved your life.
Only to kill it again. You've taken me out of one death and sentenced me to another. Is that true justice?
I think that was your own doing, but
here.
It was simply a job. You have murdered as well. Murdered for
we're
pay.
helping.
And they're going to start pulling him off. Meanwhile, Tax comes back, one of the soldiers, taking a look at you guys. He's going to go up to Helder. Sir, spoken with the Marchian's men. They have agreed to pay the bounty and that we can take hold. Send him back with the few soldiers here from the Axe. And that we should pay these men the bounty. He would like to extend his appreciation. They have done a great deed for the kingdom and for Mirabar and for him personally. And he greatly appreciates it. He would like to leave them a writ of recommendation. He simply needs their names to add a touch, and they can pick it up when they are in Mirabar. Well, men, you've heard. You are greatly appreciated for what you've done. I shall pay the bounty. Your offer of 1,400 gold pieces is kind. The axe is already here, so I must assign no additional men to guard him. They will take him to the north, so I do not need to pay for additional manpower. There was minor damage throughout the keep, so I will tell you what, I will offer you a counteroffer. We will keep 500 gold pieces. You may have the balance of the bounty.
Heldir, I mean, I'm okay to keep the gold, but I would prefer that you keep my full share. At least that. Keep the 714 from me, and then the rest of my colleagues can have their share. You've done us a great service, and we appreciate your honesty and your consideration, regardless of the Lord's Alliance or not. We appreciate this.
Well, he's going to kind of glance down at your ring and look back up. In that case, I shall gratefully accept. I cannot turn you down. Men, I appreciate the understanding that we've come here today. I ask only a few other things. One, from here, where are you heading? What is your intended plan?
I'll look back at the group. I'm not sure if we exactly knew where we were going to go, but I don't want to speak for everyone.
Well,
You are welcome to stay here. I extend my keep to you. We can certainly find you accommodations within the area, cooking, a roof over your head as long as you'd like to stay. By all means, please feel free to. And the same would be true should you head to Mirabar.
well, we believe this S Society is based out of Luskan. Have you heard of such a group?
He's gonna think about that patch that you gave him again. I've not seen that before. Now, I will say most of my time is spent either at this keep or out in the woods to the east, sometimes the crags to the west. But so I don't get into the city much. In fact, I've not been to Mirabar in a few decades now. So I'm not well known within the world of these things. I know nothing of them and little of Mirabar. However, that does bring me to a second point that may be of more value to you. We've recently acquired a few men from the coast. They were found out in the crags, huddled, scared, struggling. Men of the King's Alliance that have just come over from that particular area. Unfortunately, it sounded like they've been in quite some battles over there. With the Lord's Alliance, I said King's Alliance. Lord's Alliance. Sorry. The Lord's Alliance. They were part of nasty attack from some frost giants that seem to be ravaging the coast over there, and have fled, letting they are more familiar with that area than I am. They may be of greater assistance, but as you clearly know what you're doing and could be of assistance, I ask that if you can, you assist anyone on the coast that you may, should these frost giant attacks continue. They are raiding towns and villages, cutting off supply lines, taking down ships. Uh, we've lost many men, both within the Lord's Alliance and outside of it. It's
Well,
quite sad.
our greater goal is investigating why there's been such a commotion of giants in the north. And perhaps, do you have any more information? Have you had any attacks from any giants? Anything that that you've heard about giant attacks?
Not in many months. We did fight off some ravaging hill giants to the south, perhaps 3, maybe 4 months ago, that were causing some trouble. A few, we don't often hear of them this far north, but they were around. 6 months ago, we like to think our walls were tested by the fire giants. 2 of them came through here, did some nasty wonder, and he's kind of going to point to the outside of the city wall. If you look to the east, you'll see, or the north, you'll see some wall that has been rebuilt. They got through the wall and then turned and ran. It was quite interesting. They beat their way through with a large piece of metal and then took off. So we have not had to fight them since then. However, my scouting teams do say they continue to meander through the crags and through the forest and across the long road on occasion. We tend to avoid them if we have to.
We've come face to face with a few sets of fire giants and hill giants ourselves, so.
Is that so? Well, I hope you hid and ran, men. I know you're quite capable, but I do not think you're up to that sort of challenge.
I'm gonna pull out the fire giant fingernails and the hair. Because no, we tend not to run. And we've ran across encounters with the fire giants and hill giants, and we were even protecting one of the towns, Tribor, right, guys?
Yep.
Tribor. We even helped protect the town of Tribor. While there was some damage, we were able to take care of some things, but we don't shy away from it. It seems like these giants are causing problems in many areas, and our goal is to try to save as many people as we can.
And thus far, he has seemed rather annoyed with you, or at least have found a common ground. You finally see a measure of awe and respect on his face as he does so. A little bit of he's
For
quite
me?
impressed.
For me,
For the group in general, as you show these things, he's not looking at any individual person here, but he is quite impressed. Well, clearly you are more capable than I thought. Any assistance you could give would be greatly appreciated by the Lord's Alliance. And he's gonna look at the Griswold and the big one. I assume you are Griswold that I have heard so much about.
yes, Griswold,
And that is Sir Griswold what?
the humble.
I was waiting for something to slip in there.
That's Jim Carrey's
Griswold the
last
Humble.
record.
Do you have a last name, Sir Griswold the Humble?
Give me 30 seconds here.
He's like Cher. He just Griswold.
Madonna.
Whatever.
Bono.
All right, and you can,
Bono.
Candlemaker. Keymaker.
Give me a second, because I can't remember my last name, because I think I wrote it down somewhere in this long ass thing that I had.
all right. Well, in either case, no worries. Men, you're clearly much more capable than I expect you to be. I am impressed. Sir Griswold, the Lord's Alliance wanted me to particularly let you know that this would be a great service should you be able to help protect some of the towns on the coast. But only if you were heading in that direction.
It sounds like this is a good lead, and I will certainly talk it over with my colleagues here. But it sounds like this puts us back on track for what we were looking for, anyways. So I'm sure that we will head over there at some point, potentially sooner rather than later, to take care of some things. Is
Can we
there?
talk? Can we talk to these few gentlemen that escaped their attack?
Yes, by all means. They're currently, I believe, eating in the mess hall at the moment. You could probably find them in there, and he's gonna kind of point behind him up to the room up in this general direction. Um, I warn you, they are men of few words at this point. They are still quite shaken up. They were attacked as they were moving north from Neverwinter up towards the Ten Towns. They were caught somewhere north of Port Last, south of Luskin. Uh, most of their men were killed. It takes a
Well,
lot for these men to want to flee inside and hide within the hills and the crags. So that tells you what they've been through.
I'm sure we can go talk to them. In the meantime, in Xanthels Keep, we've already probably did we already look at the we wouldn't have looked at any armories or anything in Xanthels Keep, right? We didn't do that yet.
No, you guys
No.
haven't done much shopping or anything around this area. It's a pretty small, isolated town. It seems to be mostly homes with a few small stores and everything else, so it's pretty limited. But within the keep itself, they have a self-contained armory. Um, but as far as shops go, it's not a huge trading area in particular. This is more of a lookout post.
Uh, just two questions for you. We will go talk to these soldiers, but do you have any um, men or women council that may have some information more on giants and another just creatures that uncommon creatures.
Am I the only one that lost Griswold?
Nope, you're
No, I
not.
thought maybe I was the
Screenshot
one.
that.
No.
You're frozen, Grizz. If you can't, oh,
Oh, he's gone.
we see you, can't hear you.
Nope.
Can't see or hear now.
Well, while he's kind of figuring that out, I'll just kind of step in and say, it seems like we might be spending a little more time here, and certainly we started off on the wrong foot, but since we're going to be kind of mending this relationship and hopefully extending upon that, do you know who I would speak to about potentially buying a house or buying a lodge within this keep? I'd like something maybe specific to our group if we're going to be extending this relationship.
Well, good sir. Based on your capabilities and from what I've seen, you are welcome to join the army here anytime you'd like. Housing will be provided for you. One of these beautiful homes could be yours for no cost. You are quite capable. You will man the walls here and do good for the kingdom. Is that what you're looking for?
No, more so looking to stay with the group and just have specific lodging for this group. Not really looking to join the army. Feel like
A little home away from home. All right, I can understand that. We have a few travelers that make their way by here often. You'll want to speak to probably Milsa within town. She'll be able to take care of you. She's not far off the main road as you're heading back there. Just
Mills.
Milsa, yes. You'll see the red door on the brown thatched hut. And Milsa kind of arranges the town.
Perfect. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Awesome. Do you have any counsel that we may be able to talk about? Any wizards or anyone that I don't know, just to talk about creatures, giants, things of that nature. We've certainly ran across our fair share, and any information that we may be able to talk about might be beneficial to the group.
We do have our scribes within town that we utilize for resources. They maintain the threats of the area and general threats of the north, should we need to reference them. We attempt to keep a fairly detailed log of what we need to watch out for to protect the kingdom. They would probably be best. Would you like me to summon a few of them for you to see what we have in the history books?
I'll look back at the group. I assume that we are gonna stay here for a minute and talk to the soldiers and a couple of things. I don't think it would hurt. Is everyone in agreement with that?
Yeah,
Hell, dear, yes. If you would not mind, I have a few questions, as I'm sure the group does as well.
Well, I can have them summoned. Would you like me to have them meet you in the dining area as you meet with the other group?
Yes, yes, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. All right. Anything else? And at that point, the soldier that came back and is kind of been maintaining by his side. He's the one that spoke to the Chamb3r. Is kind of gonna get his attention, tug at him a little bit. Sir, the other thing. Yes. Men, I have an odd note for you. Did you happen to utilize us as a trading post and have your mail directed here at some point?
Yes. We might have. We were talking with an architect, someone, and they were supposed to send a map, I believe.
Cartographer.
Here is. Believe that was the case.
Yes, it was noted from the cartographer of Tribor. I was aware of it. That is a very interesting one that came to our attention. Not many men plan to attack a keep and then have things mailed there a few days later. However, because you were on the run at the moment, my men may have accidentally opened it up to attempt to find what you were looking for, and it was very interesting. Our cartographers are currently copying the maps, but I shall have them returned to you in due haste.
How long until they are finished? That map is of great importance to me.
They will be done. I'll have it done within the hour. Perhaps a few hours.
Perfect. I appreciate that.
Is there anything else you have for me? I appreciate your candidness when you come here, and once again, I believe this opens up a new door of honesty amongst us.
Did we did they bring the reward over for the rest of the group?
They are, as you're speaking of this, several of the men come out carrying multiple small bags. You need to go? No, okay. No, carrying multiple small bags, and they've kind of broken it up already for the group of you, having spread it out and divided amongst you evenly. So each soldier has a couple bags with him, coming up and handing it to each of you. In doing so, you guys now have your portion of the reward minus the 714 gold pieces that Grizz gave. So what is that? 5,000 minus.
Everyone should get 714. That was my portion of the. So everyone else should get that amount.
Okay, so yeah, 714 gold pieces to each person. The axe members that give each of you hand them and back off again. Once again, going to their respective posts. All right, men. Well, the dining area is right over there. Feel free to help yourselves as well. Get some food. You look like you've been on the road and had a tough couple days. I must return. We've got work to do. If you could give my man Tact here your names and then proceed to the dining area, we will be good.
One thing, I didn't realize I didn't put Frank beside me, so I just put him there. But just
yeah.
I can't change his icon size though.
That's odd. I gotta fix that. It keeps resetting on me. Baby Frank. There you go.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll look back at the group and for this writ of recommendation.
Yes. And a young man, one of the local instructors, that have been going back and forth. This Miss Tact now comes up with a small scroll and scribe. If I could get your names, please.
Tact, why don't you follow us to the dining hall? I think we're going to we'll start walking over if you want to jot that down while we're
all right. Yes, of course.
Over that way.
Understood. And he's going to follow you guys over then as you guys make your way to the dining hall. And you don't really need the map at any point here.
Helldeer's not following us, correct?
Heldor has bid you adieu now, and he's heading back to his room.
Got it.
Amro.
Volman, what is your intention with Volman here? Are you bringing her to the dining room with you? Are you releasing her? She is still up on the horse, kind of bound and gagged, and she is looking very frightened and confused at the moment as for what her intentions are, what your intentions with her are.
I'm fine letting her go.
Yeah, we had a deal.
I'll pick her up off the horse and kind of get her free. Remember, go as far south as you can. We should never see you or hear from you again. Do you understand?
I understand fully. You'll never hear from me again. I'll be completely gone. I promise.
I'm gonna
And
hand
then-
her a few rations too for the road.
Thank you. That'll do good. May I have some basic form of weapon as well? You've taken them away from me. I feel like it'll be dangerous to travel the road without it.
I'm gonna tickle her nose with the goblin hand.
Okay. Yes, good sir. Well done, sir.
I hold on one sec. I think I have a shoot. Where is it? Sorry. I think I have a scimitar. I'm pretty sure floating around somewhere. I'll give her two standard daggers, because I guess, and I'll give her one of the lanterns that is not. Oh wait, it doesn't have oil in it. No.
You don't need lanterns.
All right,
Yeah.
no, we won't give her a lantern. I'll give her two of those. And does anyone need the hide armor? Like did we take her armor off of her too?
You did. You basically removed any type of weaponry and armor.
Can we just give it all back to her and say whatever?
You certainly can try.
Does anyone? I mean, here, this is take your things, but if we see you again, it will not go well.
Thank you. And she's gonna grab it. She's not even putting anything on. She's just grabbing it. Thank you. And she's gonna turn and start running. She's just in this awkward jog as she makes her way back towards the gate and the way you guys came in.
Amro.
Yes.
This is the most money I've ever had before. What do I do with it?
You give it to me.
Tack, let me ask you a question here. Instead of writing all of our names on this writ of recommendation, I think it would be best if it was made out to the Phandalin Five. As we've traveled along, we've picked up a few others, and I'll look at Warwick, but I think the Phandalin Five would probably be best.
So how do we distinguish what 5 those are? And someone asks, who are the Phandalin 5? And then they ask, who the fuck are the other 2?
Well, in just
it's a title. It's a title, not a number.
We're gonna go through this every time we talk to someone new.
Yeah.
Yes, let's make out this writ of recommendation to the Phandalin Five.
I mean,
the title that our group has gone with, and
we could do names. Our friend Arthur over there, and myself, Siddle von Bolenhusen, and
he's writing these down.
Reed Thorngage.
All right. And I shall add that 5 of these 7 are the Phandalin 5. I'll note this somewhere.
all of us are the Phandalin Five.
Jesus Christ.
Tax, don't worry about the numbers here. Put the Phandalin 5, and that is all that is needed.
So the Phandalin 5 and Siddle and Arthur. That's the 7.
I'm gonna take the piece of paper.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I can't give you that. I must get your names. You're making this very difficult.
I believe he pronounced my name wrong. It's Amrook, not Arthur.
Amrook. Understood. Okay, thank you.
Just give him your name, Griswold, and let's move on.
Griswold the Humble.
Griswold the Humble. All right.
Weird last
Ad-
name.
You can look towards Adrin.
Adrian will follow us.
Great, excellent. And towards Warwick.
I know, I
Warwick.
appreciate it, Rusty.
Warwick. Just Warwick.
Or
Arcano, share. Warwick.
All right.
All right.
Out of character here. Do you all understand why I was trying to do the Phandalin 5 to
Yes,
the
no,
name?
we do.
Yes.
And Rusty was trying to do the same. And you know what? That's why I just said,
Okay.
let's move on. I'm not going to give him my last name. Amrook, done. Let's go.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So Garrett, I will tell you one thing. I look back through my notes. I did not put a last name for Griswold, so I
didn't
will
think
come
so.
up with. I will
Humble's
come
just
up with
fine.
one. Okay.
I didn't have it in my notes either, so I figured it was an opportunity to, one, remind me, and two, to tell the audience that may not have everyone's full name or what you typically go by. So it was a joint effort here.
I will. I'll make up one, but let's just say that it's a secret for now because I don't know.
And so with that, he will direct you to take the writ and move onward. And takes that note back, directs you guys to the dining hall. You make your way in. There's really no need for the map at this particular point, and in case you guys start something like before, but just so you have an idea of what you're going into. You make your way into this open dining hall, and at the point you find there are 5 men in there that are 3 on one side of the table, 2 on the other, that are just eating in dead silence. Each kind of has this 1,000-yard stare off into the distance. At the table, the rest of the place is fairly empty, other than what appears to be a few cooks and housekeepers making their way in and out at various points. And the men are just eating in dead silence off in the distance. You see these torn and tattered uniforms that are not matching the ones on the outside. They appear to be different uniforms altogether. The men have shaggy beards at this point. Their hair appears to be growing out. It seems like it's been many days since they've cleaned up or eaten accordingly. And Tact kind of points you in the direction of where these men are.
Would you say that Milsa is in this area, or she is actually in town?
She is in town.
All right.
Yeah. You just made a great recommendation. You guys want to take a quick bio break since it is just after 10?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's take a quick bio break at this point. We'll come back and pick up on the questioning then afterwards. I'll expedite a little bit so you guys do get out of town tonight. But let's take a quick 10 minutes. It is 10:08 right now, so let's do 10:18.
Perfect.
I went from 5 to 7 because I thought that'd be the best.
Live.
All right, welcome back. Let's pick up where we left off. You guys had just entered the dining hall. You found 5 soldiers sitting around a 1,000-yard stare while eating some food. Looked like a late breakfast. And that's where we're at. You guys have been directed by TAC over to the group to ask questions if you'd like.
Do you guys need me for this? If not, I think I'm gonna sneak over to Milsa and try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. If you know what I'm saying. Feeling that might need somebody to smooth talk through.
I mean,
Do you have penicillin on you? Or...
Maybe. The risk I'm willing to take, boys.
I think we should be fine, but I don't want to speak for everyone else.
Yeah, I imagine we'll end up spending the night here anyway, so.
It's very true.
Perfect.
It's still pretty early in the day too. I mean, remember it's not even noon yet, so you guys still have plenty of daylight left if you want to travel.
Yeah, I'll be. I'm gonna head over to Milsta and try and get us a house or actual lodging, just in case we want to stay over.
Okay, we will cover that separately then. Let's cover the dining hall first.
Yeah, do your thing. Do your thing.
So you guys, Warwick breaks off from the group, heads south, heads back into town. You guys have the 5 soldiers in front of you. What do you want to do?
go ahead, Grizz. I'll let you.
Hi, gentlemen. We were told that you were the survivors of a fierce attack from some frost giants.
Oh, time out. Wait, hold on. Time out.
They were
Wait,
attacked
what?
by giants, and we're gonna have this giant ask them questions right now.
Well, he also has the Lord's Alliance ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I just wanted a TO because that was out of character. I'm not saying a word as Amrook.
I thought the same thing, but
So as they break your 1,000-yard stare and look up at you as you just jump over and start questioning them, utter terror hits all of their eyes, and they leap back, attempting. The 2 of them fall off their chair. One of them throws the chair, lifts it up like he's going to try to smack you with it, and he's holding it from the other side of the table. The 2 that are on your side of the table scramble back as quickly as possible. One kind of spider climbing backwards, like trying to get back. The other one falling over himself, getting ready to run over and grab his nearest weapon because none of them are holding any weapons at the time, and they are in utter terror. And they're looking at you guys. They are now in panic. The 3 that are on the floor, one of them crawls onto the table. The other one crawls back to the other side here and is kind of up against the wall, like huddled up against it.
Please, we mean you no harm. I promise everything is okay.
do you know what would be really useful right now? Out of character. This is out of game. You know what would be really useful right now?
Like a bard or somebody
a
that
bard-
has some sort of
bard.
charismatic
Yeah.
presence.
Yeah.
Instead, I would like Griswold to make a persuasion check to calm them down.
Make a persuasion? What? All right, this is not going to go well.
Why do we let him do things like this?
Because he just starts going.
No.
He was told to go.
I
And our
prod
bard left on his own. So
I prod him along.
10.
Not bad.
So the man at the table, not able to hear anything, remains there, as is the one up on the wall, kind of huddled over. He is just holding his knees at this point, rocking a little bit back and forth. The 2 that were going for weapons still run over and kind of put their hand on the spear, but as you're calming them down, they kind of look back and they're cautious, but they're calming down. And the 3rd man gets up from the floor and is keeping his distance, but kind of looking at you. All right.
I'm gonna step forward, and just we mean you no harm, and I'm going to reach out my hand towards the one that's on the. You said it's on the ground.
Yeah. So there's one kind of right about here. He's up against the wall, just hand wrapped around his. He's sitting down over there.
Wait. Where are you at?
Oh, right up here.
Okay.
Sorry, they were. I should have mentioned that the three guys were sitting right here. So I can't. Yeah, they were at. I'm going to use these as just as temporary placeholders. I did not have anything creative for these five guys in particular, but they were sitting here at the time on there. When you guys came in, and you came in this door here.
Be
So
awesome.
you guys are
Hard.
now in the room. Grizz has just snuck up on them
So
to address them. Wolf is
Kind of
gone.
mess hall where they serve beer.
Yeah, you can get beer here. There's the couple servants that are in and out, kind of bringing food, putting it on the table. Are they move in and out? So you just flag one of them down. Anybody else?
it's more of a it's more or less going to be a just an effect, but I'm going to just kind of it in game terms. There's really no benefit in this, but I'm just going to reach my hand down to him, and when he grabs my hand, I'm going to cast Lesser Restoration, in hoping that it kind of calms him down a little bit.
All right, so he feels the kind of warmth move through him, and a gentle easing. His weariness and his pain kind of starts moving away. His battle wounds heal a little bit, and he's feeling much better. Meanwhile, at the same time, Citadel, you're asking about the beer. One of the housekeepers says, "Be right back, sir." And she kind of makes her way off. She returns a few quick minutes later with she actually brings out just several mugs, the entire platter of about 10 of them, with everybody here, and sets it down on the table and hands one particularly to you. So if anyone else wants a mug of ale, it is there. Meanwhile, behind her, one of the cook comes back at the same time with a large platter of various meats and cheeses on a platter. Looks like there's some other various accoutrements there, some bread, some variety of meats and vegetables, and they kind of lay out this little platter in front of everybody.
I'm gonna personally hand a mug of beer to all of the soldiers here. Sort of pass them around.
And the one goes over and kind of he helps lift his other buddy up and pulls him off the wall. It's okay. We're one of the two men that ran for the weapons now come back. Very sorry, sir. You scared us a little bit there. No, they're Goliath. Can I assume?
Yes, and my apologies. I meant not to scare you. Sorry for that.
Another one that ran for the weapon comes. Son, you damn near scared the crap out of us. I'm gonna need a change of pants after that. God damn it.
I like it.
We apologize for startling you, though. I understand we have some common ground in that everyone in this room has come face to face with giants in the recent past.
And you see that kind of 1,000-yard stare come back again as he stares off in the distance. He focuses back on you. You've seen him too.
We have down in Chamb3r and at this old installation called Grudhog. Whole mess of them. Certainly a nightmare.
The man across the street, or across the table that was under the table, has kind of popped up. Chamb3r? They're in Chamb3r too? Oh, that's where we were going to go and try to avoid them. We thought they were only on the coast. Oh God, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. And he just
we took
back to
the
eating.
ones in Chamb3r, and I'm going to motion over to Griswold, who presumably has ready access to the fucking toenails.
Yeah, I'll pull him out.
Oh, you got the bastards, did you? Well done. Somebody had to. They killed most of the men we were with. We were lucky to survive. Still has us a bit shaken up, as you can see. Well, I apologize. Stand down, men. Let's go back. Our hearts are a bit racing.
We can certainly appreciate that.
How many? Let me ask, sir. One soldier's to another. How many men did you lose trying to take one down to get those toenails?
We were fortunate in our group that we were able to fend them off. out of character. There were a couple of residents of Tribor that were helping us out that died, right? 5 of them,
Yeah.
Carl? So I'm going to go back and say, though we did lose about five allies in that fight, though.
Aye, you did better than us. We've lost. Oh, had to be a good 50 some. What you're seeing here is the last of us.
Our sincerest condolences on that.
We
Certainly not easy.
appreciate it. My boys here aren't doing so well. I'm lucky to hold it together myself.
Yeah, our mission is to try and make sure that nobody else has to go through this same thing. We're trying to figure out, what's got all the giants all riled up, and what we can do to calm them all down and prevent them from continued attacks.
I can tell you what got them all riled up. They're out of their lording mind. That's what they are. They're starting crazy. They're attacking the coast for no reason. They're just taking out ships. They're not even stealing half the supplies. They're just taking them down for the fun of it. This has long been coming. We stole their land and they want it back.
You said they were frost giants, right?
Aye, they were frost giants.
Where were you at? Where?
We were traveling north along the coast at the time. We were moving. We started in Neverwinter for a while. Had to bring some supplies up and guard some carriages that were moving supplies to the north. So at the time we were just north of Port
Portland?
Port Lost. North of Port Lost. We were a few days out from Luskin. We were traveling along the high road. They came in by ship. We didn't notice the ship at first. They passed by in the clouds or in the fog. But they wrapped around on us. They apparently snuck up behind us on the trail, followed us somewhere, and took us all down. We were lucky to get out of there. They were just slaughtering men left and right. Their white hair was just quick in the breeze. They'd be in and out, rocks flying, frost everywhere. It was like nothing I've ever seen.
Did you see if they took anything? Or they were just destroying?
They were just killing people, but they were taking some stuff from the carriage, various supplies that we had. I don't know what we had, what we were carrying. We were just in charge of guarding it. But yeah, they were loading up the boxes. A few of them that were behind as the group was weaning out. Already started loading things up, while the rest of them killed every man they could find.
Hmm.
We got lucky to get out of there. One of their kind hadn't turned on them and gone a little crazy himself. That's why I think they're not right in the head. We would have never got out of there. We took the opportunity of them fighting.
What was that?
Well, one of their own kind. He got lost up in the battle. There were just people flying everywhere before one of the frost giants just turned on the others and started fighting them. Big old guy too. He looked a little tougher than the rest, so I think he was the leader or something that turned on him. He was wearing a skull for a helmet. It was craziest thing you've ever seen.
I'm gonna kind of look towards Amrook, and look towards Rusty a little bit. Like maybe that's that frost giant that we were kind of looking for.
Yeah, I'm gonna nod and I'm gonna viciously nod in agreement on that one. I can't remember that guy's name though.
Viciously? No. I can't.
I got it. Hold on. Harshnag.
Harshnag. Yep.
From Bryn Shander.
Harshnag. Yeah, we heard one of the giants saying that name. Whenever he came out of the blue, he was quick, he was fast. Had a nasty helmet with him, a nasty great axe that he was wiping everyone out with, and we heard the name Harshnag. Crazy. We were lucky to get out of there. He had bloodthirst in his eyes. I think he would have killed us too if he hadn't left. He was slaughtering everything in sight.
From what we understand, his bloodthirst is not for our kind; it's for the giants. He fights alongside us.
I
He
don't know
fought
about
against the
that.
giants, I should say.
There was a moment that I looked in his eyes. He saw me hiding in the brush. That bloodthirst is not easily turned off. He would have slaughtered anyone in his path, in my opinion. We were lucky to get out of there.
We've actually kind of been looking for him, so that's certainly a welcome warning. Thank you.
Well, I would change your tune, my friends. I hear the desert's nice this time of year. I would recommend going there.
Is there anything else that you maybe could tell us? Like maybe anything that might be good information to know? Like you don't like you're not sure what you were hauling. Who were you hauling for?
It was for one of the stores in Neverwinter. What was their name? You ran the log there. You talked to them. Who were they? And one of the guy that's just kind of staring off in the distance. This was the one that was curled up on the side of the road. Kind of looks up.
Oh, lost Eric.
Oh,
There he is.
Sorry, stupid Discord dropped again.
We'll come back.
you're good.
Okay, so what was that? All I heard was you were hauling something from Neverwinter.
Hold on 1 second, Eric. It's loading for you, but it's not popping back up. Can you guys see Eric?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, let me do a quick. See if he pops up. No. Let me do a quick reset, real quick, just to get everyone back in.
And
Hey, mister.
All right, now I got you.
Cool.
And then, so this is the guy with the 1,000-yard stare that was looking off in the distance, and he kind of looks up. Who are we hauling for? It was Castor's Trade House. I saw the name on the boxes, Castor's Trade House. I don't know what it was.
You didn't happen to get a look at any of the.
I'll tell you though, I don't know if they were targeting anything we had or just us in general. Damn frost giants the last several months have been tearing up the coast. I don't know if you've been over there or heard. Poor 10 towns have had it worse than we have. I feel like every few days one of the towns is being attempted to be wiped off the face of the map. There's nowhere safe over in that corner of the world right now. They're barely holding them back. Fire Shear nearly wiped out. Ironmaster same way. Luskin's been lucky so far, pushing them back. But Port Last not going to be so lucky. Neverwinter's even seen a few. They're not holding back in any way. Well, I'd rather have Clout himself attacking the towns than these nasty ice giants. These frost giants are mean sons of bitches.
And you were on your way to Luskin?
We were heading north. We were actually due to bring it up to Fire Shear. I don't know what.
Where did you say you were headed to? Fire Shear.
Fire Shear. That was the first stop. Supposedly there were multiple drop points, but we weren't fully informed on that yet. It was going to be a cycle.
About how big were these crates? Do you happen to remember?
I would say each crate was probably. Oh, they varied in size. I saw them pulling them out. Some were upwards of 4 feet or so in each direction. Others were smaller. It was a variety of supplies. I mean, these types of caravans move up to the towns and to the north often, carrying food and weapons and other supplies. The towns rely on them.
Are those crate size normal for them, though?
Yeah, I would say they were normal. They don't appear to be anything special.
Okay.
I'm telling you, the caravans are being wiped out across the border, whether it's by road or by sea. The frost giants don't care. They're taking every bit of merchandise that's moving up into the towns. And they're taking the towns, and they're taking everything. You'd swear they were trying to bleed the North dry so they could conquer them easier.
Is the shop aware that you lost the shipment?
Beats the hell out of me. We saw that giant come out and start slaughtering the others, and we ran like hell. We took off. We stayed off the road. We made our way through the crags for the last few days. We spent the few days after that. We spent several days camping out there before one of their scouting team finally found us. We thought we were good as dead. We weren't going to head anywhere. We didn't know where to go. We just camped.
How was traveling through the crags? What's that like?
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's a noise downstairs and my wife's asleep.
Make sure you take your headphones with you so we get it on stream.
By the way, is his video off for everybody else?
Yes, so is Evans.
Evans was by choice.
Yeah.
See.
Cut to the dog eating everything in the fridge.
That would be awesome.
That was weird.
You're right, G.
I'm good.
Outside?
I think Finnegan was having a dream and his leg was kicking the couch. It was a dun, 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 downstairs. But now he's dead asleep and I don't hear the noise anymore, so I don't know. That or someone was knocking and they're gone, but
Be honest, you found your wife sleepwalking. She was in the fridge.
that was it. So open, close, open, close.
I like it.
Also, G, your camera dropped. Or you never turned it back on when you rejoined. I don't know.
I've been off the whole time. There we go. Sorry, where did we leave it at? What was in the crates?
traveling.
Crates were normal. Caravans, traveling.
Oh,
the crags.
what's in the crags? What was traveling through the crags like?
Traveling through the crags. It wasn't bad. Easy to get turned around in there. Everywhere you go, you have limited visibility as you come over. It appears that every bluff is the last one, and you get over it, and there's another set. I think we got turned around at one point. We didn't know where we were going. Luckily, we didn't run across anything, but my God, easy to get lost in there.
Have you heard
It's,
Have you heard any rumors of what you might find in there that you didn't find?
Well, there's always rumors of treasure in the crags. They say that's where several hid their loots over the years. Although I don't know if that's true or not. But having been in there, I could see that it'd be a good place to hide your loot. It's easy to get turned around and lost. That's where I'd go. You could walk right over something and not realize it. You'd just as easily fallen off a cliff.
Well, I don't think I have any other questions. Do you guys want to bother these guys with anything else?
I just recommend you keep your distance. I wouldn't do it. They're like ghosts, they are. Palest white skin and hair you've ever seen. Or beard and hair. Their flesh is as blue as a glacier. It's like nothing you've ever seen.
I don't know.
You don't want to see their eyes as they pierce you in battle. They're fierce too.
You guys were pretty pale when Griswold here was talking to you, so might be similar.
What an asshole.
Re-dropping the bomb on him.
I apologize, men. This is not who we usually are. We're better than this. Trying to think what else I can tell you that would be a benefit, other than to stay away.
Well, I know where we're going next for some treasure.
No, you don't.
Yes, no, you
Recommend
don't.
keeping your distance, men. They're just as comfortable throwing rocks as they are being in melee range with you. They'll toss and keep you on your toes, and then come right in and slit your throat if they can. They don't mind crushing your skull either. The worst part is, they seem to enjoy it.
I like my kind of people.
Was there any of them that seemed to be a leader?
Hell if I know. I didn't. I thought the one that turned on them was at the end. I think I got one slash on a big toe of him, and that's it. Man, I tell you, I've seen hill giants before. I've gone toe to toe with a hill giant with 20 men behind me. That's not scary. But the frost giants, they're tall, they're big, they're smart, they're very disciplined and organized. They're wily, and they enjoy fighting. This was nothing like I've seen before. They're like those fire giants that I've heard so much about in their militaristic ways. But the frost giants might be smarter.
I don't think I have anything else. You guys have anything?
No, nothing here.
I'd like to buy these guys another round before we get out of their way.
Are we getting something to eat here?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably should.
All right. While we set up to get something to eat, hey Grizz, can you help me pull that Vonadod rod out of the bag, since there looks like there not to be too many people in here?
Yeah, I'll pull it out.
All right. When put it on the table, and I'm going to use a charge and see if I can determine any pieces of the Vonadod within 10 miles.
In 10 miles, let me do a quick check. You do not find a piece of the Vonandot within 10 miles of this region. Nothing comes back.
Okay. Dang
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
All right. We'll put this back. And nothing. It's kind of like Yukon Cornelius and
Silver and gold.
yeah. Wahoo! Nothing.
I don't know that one.
Rudolph.
Rudolph.
Yukon Cornelius, big red beard.
He throws
Constantly,
his.
he's
Yeah,
a
he's always.
prospector, constantly looking for silver and gold.
What's he in? Where's this from?
The
Rudolph.
Claymation Rudolph.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Oh.
Been a while. Anyways,
I'm ashamed of this group right now.
I thank you, Carl, because for a minute there I thought, man, am I really that ancient? Am I that old?
No, I want it to be noted that I knew who you were talking about.
Okay, thanks.
This is purely a personal letdown on my front. That's my bad.
I know now that you said where it's from. I know, but it's probably been 20 plus years since I've watched any of those claymation Christmas movies.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
I've
that's
watched
where I'm at.
every year at least 3 or 4 times.
Oh shoot. Yeah, it's been 20 years since I've seen one, so it generally rings a bell now that you've said that. But
Bumbles bounce. Okay.
Bumbles bounce.
So as you guys are doing this and eating, a series of 3 scribes come in, carrying a large number of notebooks, each stacked on each of them, and they come in, set them down on the table. We have heard you requested us.
Yes. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Do you drink?
We do not.
Okay then. I guess down to it. My colleagues and I have certainly ventured across and come across quite a few different creatures along the way. Do you have any recollection or notes on something that may cause terror, nightmares, or something along those lines? Vivid dreams. Do you have anything in your books about that?
Terrors, nightmares, many creatures and enemies can create this effect. men, and they're gonna shuffle through and move about 3 of the books away, but that leaves about 10 of them left sitting there. These are all creatures that have at one point or another attacked within the north, and will cause nightmares. Have you faced them? Men have been afraid. This would classify as terror.
Let's get rid of
They
terror.
leave nightmares over time. What?
Let's get rid of terror, and let's say that you it's something more like a spell, something that may affect someone. Not that you've necessarily fought them before, but that they can cast something that I don't know, finds your inner fears, so to speak. And I'll look back at the group to say I we all know what I'm talking about here. What is the I'm not sure how to describe this. Oh, okay. Yeah, who was all was so Amrook wasn't there. Keegan or Warwick, were you there?
Yeah, he was
Was,
there.
Oh,
but
he
he's
was,
not
but
here.
he's not there now. Siddle was there.
Hmm.
Siddle, do you know what I'm speaking of? The dreams that we had.
Wait, I thought I was not a part of that.
You weren't.
Oh, he wasn't. Okay, so it was
No.
Adrian then.
Odun was. Adrin was.
Althea was partly, right? No,
No.
no.
Warwick as well, who is
Yeah.
not here. Warwick, Adrin, and
That's it.
no, there was a third one that was on that almost died too.
Odun,
No, that was.
Odun was there, but he's not here now.
Did I ever do a like an Arcana check or anything like that, given the description of this shit, or was I still just kind of like, the fuck you guys talking about? We haven't been to Phandalin in weeks.
We had the priest do the Arcana checks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot, who was the third one at this point? I'll have to go back
I
and
think
look.
it was-
I apologize, gents.
I think it was just us three. Like Grizz,
Oh, Grizz too.
Warwick,
Yeah,
and
he was a
yeah.
third. Yeah, it was 3. I forgot Grizz was the other one part of it. Yeah.
I know what you
Now
did.
many of you saw the first one, the dragon attack. You were all part of that, but the secondary dream and the near death was only the 3 of you.
Grizz, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know how to convey this. And
It seemed like I had a vivid dream of something that I feared, and each night that we didn't have this cure, I didn't feel rested. I felt like I was depleted more and more as time went on, and we eventually had to have what was it, greater restoration cast upon us to relinquish us of this nightmare, this spell, whatever it was. I'm not sure how to describe it, but have you written anything about such a creature or an issue?
And the 3 of them are going to look at each other, kind of pull together real quick and confer. We believe we know what you're speaking of.
oh no,
He's going to grab one book. Many high-level wizards have the capability to cast a spell called Dream. That is a colloquial reference. It is not officially named anything. It is just a spell. However, they call it Dream. It has the ability to affect your dreams and could alter your sleep state. Combined with low levels of alcohol, which appears to be a potential issue, could disturb your rest. Is this what you're looking for?
Potentially, are there any creatures that would? Are there any creatures outside of a specific spell that would do this as well?
Outside of a spell?
Yes. Are there any creatures that would want to haunt someone's dreams or their thoughts?
Perhaps any creatures that feed on people's terror.
This is a good question. Allow us to confer.
This is like Data, straight up from friggin' Star Trek. Like,
yeah.
I do not know what reference you speak of.
Well, these are squires. These are men in the book, or not squires, scribes. They are very book smart. Consider them like grad students esque. Not very emotional, pretty data driven.
I like it. I do.
You describe something that we do not know that would haunt nightmares like this. It is not a threat that we've recorded in the north. Would you like us to contact other scribes? We record threats within this general vicinity, that of the crags, of the woods of the north, of the Star Meadow Hills, Lurkwood. Those are the threats of this particular keep of concern.
Yes, if you wouldn't mind. And what is your name?
I am Dada.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Did you say data?
Not data, data.
I like beads of anon.
A null.
That's amazing. Dada, thank you. Yes, if you could contact other scribes, I'm sure that my colleagues and I would like to know about this.
Might I recommend the libraries of Candlekeep at some point? Any data and all knowledge of the area perhaps would be stored there.
I appreciate that. I'll jot that down.
We will inquire, as this is not in our logs currently.
Perfect. That's what last question. Are there any other This is going to be a loaded question, so never mind. That is all I need. I appreciate it.
Understood. They're gonna pick up their books and meander off. And you guys are left with the 5 other soldiers who are once again quietly eating their food and plenty of food in front of you. So at this point, it is let's switch over to Warwick, who has made his way into town. You've seen this thatched roof with the red door that you found. Assuming you want to go up and knock on it.
Yeah, this is Mel's house, right?
It is.
Melsta. Yep. Knock, knock, knock. Ring, ring.
All right. Coming. At which point the door opens and this older dwarven woman.
Yeah.
She's kind of built very much like Amrook, but with a slightly less manly appearance. But it's very difficult.
Maybe a little bit more manly, actually.
Yeah, maybe a hair more. Yeah, she's a little smoother faced. The beard's not as long, but it's pretty good gruff. Anyways, comes to the door. How can I help you?
Hi, Milsta. I am Warwick with the Phandalin Phive. I'm here from a recommendation of Eldor. He said you might have a house or something that you would like to sell.
Yes. Newest enlisted man?
No. Not enlisting in the army.
Oh. Looking to just purchase a home.
Correct.
Fell in love with our town then, did you?
Yeah, I fell in love with you.
Quite the charmer. However, I am taken.
I mean, never mind. Not gonna just. All right. No worries. Anyways, what kind of house do you have? House is.
We've got several. It's a modest town, as you've seen. We've got some 1-bedroom, some 2-bedroom. We've got some 2-story and 1-story. We've got some that are built a little bit longer term than others. Some that are better for protection. We've got 1 3-story readily available. We've basically got about 7 houses in the place that are available right now that are newly equipped. There's not too many. What are you looking for? That might help me narrow this down a bit.
Actually, what's the price range from the cheapest to the most expensive? What are we talking here?
Cheapest to the most expensive.
Yeah.
I would say, if you're looking for something modest, they're running about a little over 1,000 gold pieces right now. I would say about 1,200 gold pieces is the one I just sold last week. That'd be the single bedroom place. If you're looking for something a little more comfortable, you're looking at somewhere slightly over the 2,500 gold piece range. If you'd like one of our higher end, wealthier places. I have a 3-bedroom right now, located on the other side of town, with a little parcel around it for a garden. Nice family home. But higher end, very impressive, for about 5,000 gold pieces. And there is work being done on a potential manor as well that I'm due to be selling to the group here for around 8,000 gold pieces.
Interesting. This manor, how soon would it be done? And do you have anyone who's interested in it now?
I have several interested parties at the moment, and it's due to be done in about 2 months. The frame is there; you can see most of the out. It's primarily the internal that needs to be completed.
Okay. Is there anybody around us by chance? Or
Nope, you're pretty open right now. You see some people moving off in the distance. No one within 50 yards of you though, and no one that's standing still. Everyone's kind of just passing through, in some form of chore or another.
awesome. So, what's his name again? Holder. So Holder recommended that I speak to you, and he's actually enlisted our party to help clear out some giants, some frost giants that are within the area. So we're going to be doing a lot within the town and helping build it back up. Can you do any better on that manor price?
Well, let me see. Give me a persuasion check.
Where are we
You,
at?
you dropped Helder's name, so I'll give you an advantage as well.
Advantage. All right, well, hold on. Well. 22, 23, because I had that +1.
Well, if Helder recommended you, obviously he wants you in the town and he sent you to me. I have several interested parties in most. The buildings here do not go empty long. But yes, I'm sure I could knock off a nice percentage for each of them. Is there one in particular that you're looking towards?
That manor.
That manor. Well, I'm supposed to get about 8,000 gold pieces for it. I suppose Helder recommended it. The money is for the good of the town, but I could give it to you for 7,000 gold pieces, and I mean, be aware this is fully furnished and ready to go. But if you wanted me to give you bare bones, I could probably take off another 750 gold pieces, or so.
No, I'm gonna say fully furnished is probably the way we want to go. You said she's a dwarf, right?
She is. Yep. She's an older dwarf. Seems to be up there in the years from what you can tell. You're not great at aging dwarves in particular.
Oh no.
I'm gonna cast suggestion.
Okay.
Milsa, from us trying to really give back into this keep and really trying to build it up, I'm gonna suggest you give us this manor in good faith. I'll give you 500 gold pieces for it, but that's signed, sealed, delivered. 500 gold pieces right now. Oh, and by the way, she's gonna roll a 2.
Go fucking figure. Go fucking figure.
And I'm gonna need that signed over to me today.
1 second. Let me just check on something here.
I can't wait until the day that Garrett throws out someone that suggests Warwick to do something funny. And I'm saying that out of character because
Keegan, it's coming.
I'm giving her lair action.
Oh,
No, there's nothing. Amrook, remind me again. There's nothing here for charm spells, right?
Only if
dwarves
she
in
was
particular?
only if she was elf, half elf.
Or half elf or Durgar.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought there was something for that. All right. So she's gonna automatically get a 2 on her wisdom saving throw.
Unless she has dispel magic, or someone around her has dispel magic as well.
well, that's why I asked if there was anybody in the area. I wanted to make sure nobody saw. That spell magic got me once. I don't want to get it again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right. No, there's nothing. She hasn't saved. You use up your 2. All right, you make a great point since you are of significant benefit to the town and would clearly be a huge help. 500 gold pieces is a excellent price.
All right, so I'm going to give her over the 500 gold pieces. Uh,
The
Thank you.
contract for the house is yours. Here you go. She's gonna sign it over with her glazed eyes,
Wow.
put her signature on it.
Perfect. All right, I'm just gonna start turtly trotting back to the group.
All right.
I don't know what to say at this point.
No.
I just, yeah, it's amazing.
All right. And you guys return to the group, finishing up some lunch. Anything else you guys want to do? It is just past noon right now in town.
And we've already got about
So
3 or 4 meads in us.
You do. You got a few meads. You got full stomachs. You guys have asked around the town. Anything else you want to do? What's next?
so I suggest us heading towards Luskin, but instead of following the road, um, let's take a shortcut through the crags to get up onto that road, High Road, something like that. I can't remember the name of the road
High road
between
goes along
Mirabar.
the coast, I think.
No, it's the one that there's the one that's between Luskin and Mirabar.
Here, let me pull you guys up to the map so you have it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Even though you have continuous access to the map, it's easier with it. That only Amrook makes consistent use of at the start of every session.
No, I had it open at one point.
Dude, I didn't even know we can access the map.
Um,
It's the Blackford
Blackford Road.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking,
We do have to cross a river that way, though.
Don't
The
we have a
Mirabar
boat?
River.
going like that.
Yeah.
Did you say you guys have a boat?
No.
Nope, I didn't say that. I didn't say anything.
I think we can probably find our way across the river somehow.
Agreed.
But that way we don't have to. Plus, it'd be shorter, right?
Should we ask for them to stable our horses here? I don't think the horses will do well in the crags.
No, I agree. I was thinking the same thing. Leaving our horses here.
I like it.
Adrian, you were asking me earlier about your gold.
Yeah, man. I've never had this much gold.
Well, has there ever been anything that you really wanted?
I mean, not really. I got a new cloak already. I like my cloak's nice.
What else do you have that you might need more of?
Gold.
I guess maybe um components for casting spells. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
I mean, you have more than enough for a couple diamonds for us as a group, but what about something for yourself?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's. I don't know.
What about
I don't
something
know.
that helps you? I've noticed you seem to jump up in the front a little bit more and fight with your fist. Is there anything there that might help you a little bit more?
I mean, buying new fists. That sounds a little funny, right?
Maybe not your fist, but maybe something that supports them.
I don't know. That's.
Brass
Well, I guess I have to think about it. I've never. It's like I
I've
don't
heard
know. It's
I've
never
heard
thought
of
about
men
this.
in fighting pits that do have something that cover your knuckles per se, and can send out electric bolts.
I mean, like these hand wraps.
Uh, Something like that. Maybe we just ask our friend from Yartar. See what he has. Hang on to it for now.
Okay. You don't think I should give it to Reed to hold?
I mean, I don't see why not, but I'd I'd probably be just hanging on to it yourself.
Okay. Okay. I mean, he asked about it. I just was. I don't know, thought it was kind of funny myself, but you
He
know.
offered to hold it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The gold, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay, just checking. Um, I have no reason not to trust Reed.
Well, I mean, I don't either. I guess. I mean, I've seen him kind of like looking through like everybody else's stuff every so often, but it's. I think he's just curious on what everybody else does.
When does he do this?
Oh, I don't know. Whenever.
Noted.
How often do you do that, Reed? I don't know.
The only time I ever did that was to. I think.
You know what? Maybe that was
Sickle core.
that might have been when Reed was out of his wits a little bit, and somebody else might have been playing him. I can't remember now.
I definitely never look through anybody's stuff because we Ryan and I talked about it.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of something else then.
I don't remember that. I
did-
remember.
So during the drinking game, you did see him try and cheat, but you
That's
also
what it
saw
was.
you also saw Warwick try and cheat. So
Yeah, that's right. That's what I take that all entirely back of what I said in game, and that's what it was. Yep.
other than the fact that Reed asked you if he could hold your gold for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no reason to not trust him.
Good point. Just don't play him in a drinking game
Or any
Touche.
game for that fact.
or any game.
I mean,
They're fast
Adrian,
fingers.
if you want him to hold it for you, you can, but I don't see any difference between him holding it and you holding it.
No, that's true.
If you're afraid you might lose it, I mean, we could throw it in one of the bag of holding. We have 2 of them now.
No, I'm fine with it. I don't care if I lose it, I guess. Anyway.
You didn't care if you lost it. I'll take it.
As Reed pops
It'll
up
be
behind
like,
us. Hey guys,
What?
I heard you didn't care about your gold. Do you think I could just hang on to it for you then?
I'll just hold on to it for now. Like you said, maybe I'll see something I like. I don't know. I got a new cloak, though. Cloak's nice.
Tis a nice cloak. Do you think I should get a matching one?
I mean, it'd be kind of cool, but
I think Griswold might be jealous if we do that.
Did we just become best friends? Did we do karate in the garage?
Anywho, so anyway, that's my suggestion: is going through the crags to get to that road to get to Luskin.
Adrian, one more thing. I don't really want to talk to anybody here, and I'm going to give him an additional 20 gold and ask him to find the stables and have them take good care of our horses.
Who is this with?
Amrook's asking Adrian to make sure that
Okay.
the horses get stabled and taken well
I'll
cared
do that.
of.
I can do that.
So while you're doing this, Amrook, you reach into your pocket to grab the 20 gold pieces, pull it out, prepared to give it to Adrian, and you find a note in your pocket that you did not previously have there.
I saw that earlier. I was curious.
Oh. What'd you see? You shouldn't have
Oh
seen it
no,
anywhere.
I saw a mysterious note at the top of the list, and I didn't click on it thinking it was something else, but apparently that's the symbol. Okay.
I should let me rename that
That's the badge.
Yeah.
to be more specific. No, that note was not meant for you. I did not create a physical version of this note. That's why you threw me for a note there. Interesting. Anyways, no, you find this note and you pull it out, and you reading it, you read, General Magma Mail. It is good to see you alive. Know that your work is being carried on, and we are preparing to take back the city. Your work is in good hands. Signed, Loyal Servant of Dix.
I'm just gonna stuff that back in my pocket and give Adrian the 20 gold and be as stoic as possible.
Okay.
Insight check?
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
No, I won't. Nope.
I mean, you would have seen me pull out a note and then just shuffle it back in my pocket. Ooh, an insight check would make sense.
Okay. No, I don't care.
Okay. And with that, so it's just afternoon. You now have Warwick in the house, a new house. You guys have some information. What do you guys want to do for the afternoon? Your horses are being stabled.
Do I see anybody around who may have slipped me this note?
You don't see anyone in this particular room. You guys are still in the dining room. Other than the few housekeepers that have come in and out. I'll tell you what. Give me a perception check as you're thinking back.
Nope.
Yeah, you see nothing, and as you think back, you've had almost no interaction with anybody other than maybe a few soldiers that have passed by you out in the quad, on the
Courtyard.
square. Yep.
Okay, I'm good.
But what that does, as you do think about, as you do think about that, there were a few different soldiers, a few particularly of the Axe of Mirbar that had bumped into you, or brushed by you, or gotten within a close vicinity of you while you were out in the courtyard as you passed. But otherwise, you have seen, since you've last reached in your pocket and while you've entered town, there have been maybe only 3 or 4 people that have gotten anywhere close to you.
Okay.
All of which were soldiers in one form or another.
Okay. I'm good.
Okay. What do you guys want to do?
I mean, still kind of early in the day. I say we get going.
I'm game.
I agree with that. Let's make haste and see what we can do.
Okay. So you guys are on the map screen then. So you're prepared to leave town. Anything you want to grab? Anything else you need before you leave town, specifically?
Just maybe restock on any rope or anything that we might not have regathered.
Should we invest in
Okay.
more horses right now so that we don't
What's
have
that?
to deal with? Should we invest in more horses right now so we don't have to do it when we get back?
If we come
So
back
from
here,
what you can tell,
Well, we have our 2 horses stored here now, don't we?
Yeah.
From what you can tell, it doesn't appear to be many stables in the area. Everything's pretty well kept within the town. The only horses that you have seen are within the barracks of the soldiers. So I would say it's unlikely you're going to find in this particular town horses available for sale. Again, very much a military post. So yeah, you're going to struggle to find something here.
Actually, I'm going to do something a little bit more. I am going to find travelers, anybody that's heading south to take our 2 horses to Chamb3r.
Okay.
Any caravans that might be coming through or anything like that.
do I am I close enough to hear this negotiation?
I mean, I'll tell you that I'm doing that.
Yes, you can follow with him, maintaining the area while you hear him. One of the soldiers posted outside the door is kind of the one that's coordinating everything for you. Yes, sir. I believe there are some merchants that are heading south, staying in town currently. Two men. They will potentially do so for you. If not, travelers come through here every few days, heading south, and so we could send them down there for you, and they would be there within 3 or 4 days.
Perfect.
Well, leaving here within 3 or 4 days, I should say. They will not be in Chamb3r for probably walking, as they would not use your particular horses. It would be wow, for how far that was. That is 7-day trek, so they will be down there within 10 days.
I think that's fine. We probably won't be back in Tribor in that time period anyway.
Is that enough gold for that? If not, I can give you more.
I don't know how much should I get. Should 500 gold?
Maybe
And the guys listening in on
offer,
this, that's not in the ballpark. Yeah, that's about right.
I think 150 should do.
Oh, okay. How about 150?
Yeah, 150 would be great.
Definitely will take care
That's
of
just
them.
about right.
If these horses don't make it, I'll hold you responsible, though.
For 150 gold pieces, they will absolutely make it, and they will be a bit fatter than they were when they left.
As will you, I imagine.
I know not what you mean, sir. And then he kind of looks down and embarrassed.
Just enjoy yourself.
Yes, sir.
A little overkill
So,
with the 500 gold. What the?
That's great.
He really didn't care about that 750, huh? He's like, fucking first bidder.
I love the lack of recognition, though, on how much anything costs. As a man that hasn't spent a lot of money, you wouldn't know. Well played, sir.
Do me a favor, Adrian. Don't tell Warwick how much we spent on that. He would definitely have tried to negotiate a lot less.
Not tried.
yeah, he seems to be. I don't know how he. I don't. What? Yeah, he's a magician in his own sort, I guess.
Yeah.
He cares a little bit more about the gold than you and I.
I don't. It's it's gold.
As we go through past any shops or anything like that, I just want to drop a couple pieces of gold outside of each one.
Outside the
Subtract 'em.
shops, just
Yeah.
put a few gold pieces on each one.
Yeah,
And you
just-
pass 3 very small shops along the way.
Andy Dufresne some gold coins out, you know.
out of the pant leg.
Yeah.
I understood that reference.
It wasn't a Rudolph reference, so I figured we'd be okay.
You know what we need? We need a whisper campaign.
I'm a big fan of whisper campaigns personally.
We need a Mordi's whisper campaign.
If only we had somebody who could like make songs for our that tell the tales of our victories.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I can play a pan flute.
Can you?
Yeah.
I don't think
Wait,
I've heard
you can or Adrian can?
Adrian can.
Oh, okay.
I feel like you probably can too.
I was gonna say I didn't think that I had to actually question that. It's not out of the realm that you could as well.
No,
Woodwinds.
Woodwinds is not my thing.
Yeah, so I'll just drop, Andy Dufresne like 25 extra gold around the area, and I already subtracted it as well as my half of the 75 gold.
I subtract 75 too, so.
And no one catches up on it right off the bat, but as you're leaving town and preparing to walk out, you hear Lord from someone near one of the shops, and you try to turn around and see them looking all around for where it might have come from. Put their hands to their heart and then rush inside.
Have we caught up with Warwick yet?
Yeah, you guys caught up with Warwick in town. I figured he was making his way to the keep whenever you guys were coming in.
Okay.
Or going out.
All right.
Okay, so you have left the keep, successfully clearing your names. You guys should be on the map. Give me some direction here on where you're going, what your plans are from Xanthels Keep.
Northwest.
Okay. So you guys are heading that way.
Did they say there were frost giants in the crags, or were they different type of giants?
No, we didn't get too much information about the crags.
Well, the men that we talked to were attacked. I thought
They were
uh,
over
Yeah,
on
so
the
they
coast.
were what they were trying to describe was in this general vicinity between the yellow and the red, somewhere along the high road over here between
Okay.
Port Last and Luskin. From there, they fled, ended up in the crags. So from what you can tell, they likely shot somewhere over here and then spent some time in the crags,
And then they were
hiding.
they were headed towards here, right? Fireshire.
Yes, so they left Neverwinter and they were heading up the high road and making their way into the 10 towns up this direction, heading towards Fireshear. And he said they were planning on making a loop and stopping the towns, so probably would have, bounced around to eat some of the towns up here, plus some of the smaller villages. And they had mentioned Neverwinter, they had mentioned Port Last, Luskin, so they were kind of talking about this entire coast here along the high road.
so towards Blackford Road from Xanthels Keep. Shortest path.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys want to head. You're talking about heading. Oops. Based on the arrow you gave me, you were heading like right here.
Yep.
Shortest path onto the road. I got you heading towards like the A of road.
Yeah,
Cutting over the river, through the crags, over the river to Blackford.
to grandmother's house we go.
Damn it.
Exactly.
Do it.
All good with that?
That cannot be trademarked, right?
Let's do this.
That's got to be
All right. So you guys have about 8 hours before darkness at this point. So you can make up, half a day of travel, so probably about 12 hours of travel. So yeah, that's gonna make it. You finish, 12 hours of travel today. 12 hours or so, or 12 miles. I apologize. From that, you'd have 2 full days of traveling after that by foot. So today, you guys can get pretty much dead center of the crags.
Cool.
And
Okay.
not quite. You can get to about to G.
About to the G, yeah.
So as you guys leave Xanthels Keep and make your way into the crags, you find that it is every bit of a confusing and difficult terrain that you had heard about. This is not the rolling hills that you would know them as previously, or that you heard about. This is interesting territory in that these barren hills are constantly cutting off into just pure drop-offs at different points. There are sheer cliffs throughout. There are hidden caves, and every time it looks like you're going over a hill and that you might be opening up into somewhere, another one appears on the other side. This is just difficult terrain across the board. Not to walk, but to plan any form of long-term pathway. You can only see a short distance in front of you, and every time you think you have visibility on it, there are hidden nooks and crannies and drop-offs and ditches and everything else. So it is. You could see that you could almost walk right over a hidden army and not even realize where they're at. So very interesting. Not only that, as you're doing so, you pass by several abandoned mines. You see some of the collapsed doorways along the way. You see areas that there were previously some railroad tracks for pulling what appear to be carts in and out of these mines. Old wooden buildings that have pretty much entirely collapsed.
Is there any remnants in the carts? Can we tell what they were mining?
These carts are almost entirely gone. The only thing you're seeing is the base of the wheels. They're so deteriorated in most ways, so you can't quite tell. Based on, I would say, based on your experience, Amrook, you know a little bit more about these areas. 1 second. Let me pull up some of the details here. You know that there were several mines in this particular area. You don't know a ton about it, but you know that it was famous for the mining back in the day. There are still stories told about it from whenever you were a kid. You know that there were several diamond mines up here, some sapphires, some rubies, a lot of just metal mines of various rough metals that were utilized for tooling, weaponry, building of various materials. The crags were pretty valuable at one time. However, each of the veins were pretty limited, so it cost a lot to continue to replenish veins, find new mines, and plus it was very difficult moving things in and out, and so it very quickly became just difficult to become profitable. And so most people have moved up to the spine of the world, above Miramar, where they're much more profitable, longer term mines of similar veins. So you continue moving across this harsh country without incident. The day passes by. You guys are fairly exposed for most of the day to the wind or to the sky. The sun beating down on you. But interestingly, as the day goes on, you haven't been this far north in a while, other than Xanthels Keep. Starting to get very cold at night. You guys feel the chill finally in the air, even though it is generally pretty nice in the spring. Only a few of you are really feeling it. Some of you are quite comfortable. Amrook, having grown up in these conditions, Adrin, you two are quite comfortable. The rest of you are starting to shiver a little bit as night comes on and it just sucks the heat out of your bones. But otherwise, in uneventful travel, you guys find your way, make up some distance, cover about 12 miles before night sets in, and you guys need to set up camp. Now, throughout these hills, there's a lot of different areas that you guys can set up camp. Did you want to set up kind of on top of a hillside so you have more visibility to multiple areas? Did you want to find a kind of a cliffside to protect your back, a small cave or inlet that you can duck in? What kind of area are you looking for here as you're scouting it out? How would you guys like to camp out?
Door number
My
2,
vote is
Bob.
cave. But
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Some kind of something to protect us against wind. But also but we're probably going to need a pretty good sized fire if everybody else is getting cold.
I don't know
Okay.
if we should have a cave in these parts. Things tend to live in caves,
No, I think we should stay away from caves. But yeah, exactly. Things
but to have
lives in
something
caves.
against our back wouldn't be a
Yeah,
bad idea. And I
yeah,
think if we're up on the hill, fire might attract.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was thinking too.
Okay. So you're looking for something down below that's going to cover the fire up and have some wall to your back. Ideally,
Yep,
not a cave entrance. Okay.
yep.
Good. So you guys, there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of different crevices and nooks and crannies in these particular crags. It doesn't take you long to find one, a little boat out area down below one of the crags. You're kind of protected on a hillside on the opposite, a sloping hillside directly across from you. You got a sheer wall at your back, so you're protected pretty well from those two sides. The only entrances are from the left and right, but it kind of funnels in between, so it'd be tough to. You get natural pinch points on both sides. You guys can camp out and protect the fire. So you guys settle in for the night. Before you do anything, let me just quickly get your sleeping arrangements. Who's got first watch?
I'll have first watch, and Frank's up all night.
Yep, Frank on all.
I'll take that watch with Grizz so we can learn him some more.
Yep. Oh, I'm glad you said that because I was going to mention it.
Althea says she'll take third shift.
You gonna learn today.
I'll take second.
I'll take second.
Okay,
with Adrin.
Adrian in second.
I'll take
What's it,
third.
Sid? What was that, Siddle?
I'll take second with Adrin.
All right. Warwick and Althea again. Reed, where do you want to be?
I was gonna say I'll take third as well.
All
Or
right.
I guess we only.
Warwick and Althea.
I was trying to think if we had any that weren't two, but I guess
Althea takes
we
2
only have-
shifts.
we only have
Yep, 223. And Althea, yeah, she gets half of another shift, so she's on part of the second one.
And I will use the bag of tricks. What do I roll? D8. Oh.
Yeah, I'll stay on third.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll my intelligence because, yeah,
Yep, go ahead and roll your intelligence, and everyone give me a perception check for the night.
intelligence of 16. I rolled a
right.
nat 1, so I don't see shit.
And for Frank, and you get 4 words.
Let me go to Frank, and hopefully he does a lot better than I did.
It's a drink, Evan.
Whoa.
Oh, we have a weasel, a giant rat, and a dire wolf for the night.
Touche.
I rolled an 18 in intelligence.
Giant rat and a dire wolf. All right. Okay, you get 5 words with that.
What'd you get for an intelligence, Carl?
18.
That's legit.
A lot better
An
than a
18,
1.
good. Perception, good. Did I get Althea? No, I did not. Give me the perception. Anything you guys want to do before the night then? As your shift's going on, obviously, Griswold and Amrook want to learn some words.
I'm gonna write in my journal and learn my 2 cantrip.
Got it. And Siddle, I assume you're still spending some time learning your spells as well.
Correct.
I gotta figure out.
I'm gonna do lightning bolt tonight.
Okay. All right. First shift is you guys are discussing language, working through dialect, pronunciation, everything else, kind of reviewing some old words. You keep an eye on the area. You're pretty well protected. You only have to keep an eye on those 2 pinch points and listen up. And plus, you've got the weevil, the weasel, the giant rat, and the dire wolf and Frank keeping an eye out in multiple directions. The night goes by without incident. You guys have a nice little nook in here. It's quiet. The big fire keeps the chill out of your bones. And you guys are successful on your watch.
Nice.
Second shift, Adrian Siddle and Althea wakes up halfway through it. Anything you guys want to do? Besides, Siddle, you're over there studying your spells, going through, copying it onto your book, doing some little practice here, trying to figure out the nuances of the spells. Adrian, anything on your docket?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Your night shift goes by uneventfully as well, keeping an eye on it in both directions. All is quiet. There's some movement of some natural predator, natural prey within the area. There's small herds of little animals that are just moving their way through. Seems to be some activity in the area, but nothing of any threat. Third shift, Althea, Warwick, and Reed. Anything you guys want to do on your third shift here? Warwick and Reed.
Spells and writing in my journal. That's it.
All right. Reed, anything for you, sir?
No, I don't think messing with Althea would be advised.
All right. and Althea is just giving googly eyes to Warwick the entirety of the night. Really just eyeing him up. And that's just to see if Ashley actually watches the show and follows up on the previous. So we'll see if I get in trouble or not.
Nice.
Otherwise, the night passes without incident. You guys, it gets light well before you see the sun. The crags pretty well hide the rising of it. The horizon is well lit in the sky before it finally peaks over the rock wall near you. And you guys get a better view of the area that you're in, and it's a pretty well protected area. Anything you guys want to do before you take off? Change spells or everything else?
I think I'm good with spells.
I'm gonna rearrange mine just a squidge.
Yeah, I did already.
I'm good on mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna rearrange my spells too.
That's awesome. Hmm. All right. I have a way for us to get across the river, so that's not a problem.
I can give us all water breathing too.
I got you one better.
Oh,
Walk on water.
Yep. Why breathe in it when you can walk on it?
totally fair.
Yeah, you guys utilize. I figured you got across whenever we were down at the stone bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have horses this time, so it'll be easier.
Yeah.
All right.
One,
You guys continue making your way through.
6,
Uh,
10.
you're able to cover another good set of mileage over the course of the day, making your way through. Again, these random cliff sides, some barren areas. There's not a lot of growth in these crags. A lot of invisibility in hidden areas as well. Dead trees, scattered stones. It's really just a pretty terrible area, and certainly not a fun one. More practical than anything else. You have not seen a harsh landscape like this in your travels yet so far. Not one that you would enjoy cutting across. But otherwise, you're able to make your way without much incident. At least you've got
Hey
you get some
Garrett,
decent visit. Yeah,
real
go.
quick before we leave our camp for the day, I'm going to actually I'd probably do it at night. I will try to I will spend a charge and use the Rod of Vonadod.
All right. So based on your campsite, you search within a 10-mile radius, feeling around it, and you do not feel anything before you leave camp. It appears to be devoid in this area.
Okay. I am going to try to remember
No.
at every camp.
At every camp. Okay, and if you don't, I will.
Okay.
Okay. But you guys continue making your way through this harsh landscape over the course of the day. You see various signs along the way too, based on your passive perception as you guys are looking around, that there's generally a lot of travel through this. But it's a pretty wide open expanse. And like I said, you could be right across the hillside from somebody and not even realize it. The way this territory is lined up, just very difficult visibility across ranges. Those walking over the hillsides versus those cutting through some of the chasms that make their way through here. So very easy to miss people very quickly. You can see once again, while this was an area that people tend to get lost in, whether by accident or on purpose, as well as a strong hiding point at various points. But otherwise, the day goes by without incident. You guys are able to successfully navigate it without incident. Anything else you want to do?
As we're traveling, I'm just going to try to take note of tracks, and using survival, can I determine what seems to be traveling through these hills, creatures, people, humanoids, that sort of thing.
Yep. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
Yeah, can I assist on that, knowing the area and that there's a decently good chance that some of those tracks are going to be goblin?
Yep. Go ahead and take advantage on that one,
Sweet.
Adrian, since you know this area well, Amrook.
17.
So as you're passing by, you see a wide variety of tracks with a 17 at different points making their way through. The dead nature of this area means that there's not a lot of fresh cover. What the prints are there for a long period of time, so you can generally see about a week's worth of tracks at some point. You see trails that are even more beaten than normal, so something that travels through there often. You can't quite tell what they are since they haven't been used in over that week, but you can see that even beyond those that you can identify, there's a lot of activity. But meanwhile, of those that you've passed by, you recognize some goblins based on your previous experience. So it does appear that small tribes of goblins are making their way through here, potentially a half dozen to a dozen at a time. Plowing through, you see what appears to be 2x2 hobgoblins that you recognize as well, marching through here at different points. You recognize what you're pretty sure are bugbear tracks, typically individual or paired. that have made their way through, kind of rambling at various points along the way. You see some many humanoid tracks. They tend to be a little bit stealthier. You see their lighter tracks. They're a little bit more erratic, and they tend to be in larger groups. They're not straight trails. They're more kind of back and forth weaving, almost scouring the particular
Meandering.
area. Yeah, meandering is a good way to go. Meandering with purpose, maybe. Sure, there's a good word for that. I'm gonna go scouring, and then I'm gonna stick with that one. You also see some tracks that appear to be very large feline-like tracks that have made their way through here. So yeah, you see several different varieties along the way. Those are just I would say the more vicious ones. You also see a large amount of wild game tracks as well. You see the typical deer, elk, maybe some possible bear here. Small feline tracks. Large number of small creatures making their way through. Despite the hostile nature of this particular area, it seems to be very well suited.
Thanks.
Okay, good. Anything else?
Besides cold or cooler, what's what the weather seem to be like?
Cooler. It is actually very clear. About the sky's about half clouds. So sun kind of coming in and out at various points. Otherwise, very bright sun. There's a nasty wind kicking through here, about 12 miles an hour at the moment. But otherwise, no rain on the horizon and just a cool biting wind.
Okay. Keep moving then, I guess.
All right. You guys are able to get through the day without much incident. Settling in. I assume you want to find a similar area to the previous night.
Yep.
Okay, good. Once again, you find a little nook and cranny. This time you're between two sheer rock walls. Once again, a pinch point on both sides. One side has pretty heavy brush that you're protected from. You guys kind of come into this little nook from the opposite side. Sheer walls are about 20 feet on each side of you. You guys are pretty well protected in this little area. The fire would be hidden. Can I assume you guys want to keep the same marching order or same watch order?
Works for me.
Yeah. Let me roll my intelligence again.
Why is he rolling intelligence? Did I miss that?
Because he wants to learn.
He uses it to learn words. Him and Amrook discuss. What is it? Dwarven and Giant. They share.
I'm gonna
So how much he can retain.
forego. I'll teach him, and then I want to spend a little time, kind of just quote unquote meditating. What Amrook thinks is meditating.
Well, I don't think I learned too much from that from this one.
You were able to pick up 2 words.
7. I could pick up 7. All right, 2
No,
words.
2.
All right, let's see what I got. Let's see. All right.
Scouting wasn't quite the word I was looking for, by the way.
Figure I'd throw it out there for you.
I appreciate it. I can't quite think of the word. Scavenging might be the better word.
Oh,
Go
okay.
scavenging.
Okay.
You kind of see him going from rock to bush to various interesting points back and forth. So it seems to be scavenging.
Gee, I'm just gonna stick with the animals that I have for right now, just to make life easy
That makes
for all.
sense. I'm good with that.
And I keep forgetting to turn off advantage. Oh no, they have advantage. Never mind.
Okay. Althea. I will say the night goes by without incident. If there's anything anybody wants to do on their shifts, feel free. Otherwise, you guys are currently. So you guys are currently Others, good. Let's see, you made it 12 miles on day 1, or 24, so you guys are 36 miles in. So you guys are sitting about right here right now.
It didn't ping for me.
Same.
Okay, I was about to say.
Oh, tip of the arrow. Can you guys see the arrow?
Nope.
You're hiding it from
No. It says show to others. You guys are on the... Wait. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Go back to there.
Oh,
Had you guys... Sorry about that. Had you guys on the wrong map.
We're at the edge of the
Yeah,
crags there,
so
right?
you're right there.
oh, sweet.
Almost hit that river.
All right. On that note, it is now midnight. Before we get into any more travel or potential incidents, I think this might be a good time to stop. Before we go through the river, the road, etc. What do you guys think about calling it here? I know we don't have a battle in at the moment, but that would drag it out a little bit late for everybody.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Probably a
Yeah,
good
I'm
call.
good with that.
Yeah, that works.
Then let's do that. Having successfully recaptured your name and your reputation back at Xanthels Keep, learned some good deal of information about the coast and a new set of giants that are attacking the north. You guys are on your way to some interesting areas. I think this would probably be a good point to call it then. And yeah, next session should be an interesting one as you arrive in Luskin. So
And we officially have crossed off dealing with the Weevil. So
that you have. That quest is officially done for now.
Yeah, I'm just worried that sneaky fuck got away from him.
What's that?
I'm just worried about that sneaky fuck getting away from him.
He's pretty well captured. But yeah, you guys are done with the Weevil quest. So yeah, that one has long been in the books and now gone, and you guys are moving to a new area, a new town that you have not yet been in. So I'm excited. I can tell you the next session should be a great one as we get to Luskin. It's a fun town, so I'm looking forward to it.
Rusty,
Awesome.
I
Same time
feel
tomorrow.
like Siddle should send the Weevil a message every once in a while just to piss
Yeah.
with him.
Just to
When you-
taunt him.
On these nights that we haven't spent any spell slots, just
that's awesome.
Oh my god, one day I don't get a response back, be like, ooh, I guess this time came.
All right. With that, everyone, thanks for tuning into Chaos Chamber, and tune in next week. It will be an exciting one.
and Tuesday.
And Tuesday for Echo Chamber. It's a light roster, but always fun conversation.
And the new songs coming out for
Can't
Stats
wait.
Chat
I'm excited.
and Magic Item of the Week. See you guys then.
I am excited about that.